4. Four. Four.
blessings. You know the game been told. If I was you, then my soul would have been sold. Watch what you do, cause it's coming back tenfold. Either way it goes, man, I'm 10 toes, 10 toes, 10.
What up, man? I had a little technical difficulties, man. I was getting the feed in the background, but as soon as the show started, that shit just went smooth away. So, what's going on? I got a guest with me today, my man, Willie Beeman. What's the deal? What's the deal, Willie? How you, baby?
I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, man.
Oh, man, shit. I'm trying to get on your level, dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. Yeah, I got some unfortunate news, Team Illa. The interview, even though it's probably one of my best, if not my best interview, classic interview, I was trying to do some editing in the background on behalf of the brother, and all the footage got destroyed. You know what I mean? Classic interview with an international group, star of an international superstar group. If you was able to witness the interview, consider yourself blessed, consider yourself privileged, because although we will get the brother again, when people are moving on that level and moving at that pace, you know, you got to just get the opportunities when you get the opportunities. But we had a relationship years before we even did the content, so he'll definitely be back. But that was a blessing. However, still, everybody that was able to witness that, do your homework on who that man is and, you know, what group he's a part of and, you know, the exclusivity to be able to even talk to those people. You know what I'm saying? So if you're over here, you know, you just never know who I'm going to end up talking to. And like I said, y'all support me so much. But Willie, man, I'm sure you're familiar with this conversation. We're going to get right into it. I think you've done some content on this previously. But these are one of those topics where I feel like, you know, because a lot of things trend, you know what I mean? And people talk about it over and over and over and over and over. And this seems to be like one of those things, at least in the men's circle. I don't see a lot of women talking about it, but I see a lot of men reacting to this. And from your first watch, because I still haven't watched this entirety, from your first watch, how did you feel about what these men were saying?
My bad. So the first time I watched it, I just knew that it wasn't going to be a fruitful conversation for actual like men, and it was only going to pertain to like those henpecked men that they used to make that actual panel. And then after watching it and seeing who's involved in the panel, who put it together, again, it's the typical standard format that you get when anytime a man's conversation is infiltrated by or hosted by a woman, that's what happens. And I had no expectations. I will say that given that Clifton Powell is such an OG as far as the generation he comes from, I expected that he would have a lot more of the energy that I respected of the man. But even then, arguing with the sissy, that automatically saying took him down for me.
I mean, like, it's like it get crazy because people be trying to. I get the argument. It's like, you know, a person of a different sexual nature, like they still a man, they still a woman, and it's like, cool, bro. Like if you want to like your own kind, your own sex, like that's your business. But when you jump into the conversations about the lack of manhood or manhood, like any manhood related question when it comes to responsibility or lack thereof, especially in relation to the woman, you got to sit that one out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you want to talk about the conversation about human rights and the right to be left alone, and you could sit at that table. But when it comes to that man and woman dynamic, because you can't point the finger of any responsibility of a man when you have given up the ultimate responsibility of a man. You're not, like, it ain't even just about procreating with a woman. Nigga, you're not even loving one. So it's like you to be talking about what we need to be doing with our women and how it's like, just sit this conversation out. And the fact that he was, because when I seen it, I just seen a bunch of brothers. I seen the Clifton responding, and it caught my eye. And then I was trying to do the talk about. I thought I could slide that in talking about Mika. And when I just watched like the first few minutes of it, I knew right away like this is going to deserve like its own show. Like this going to deserve my like undivided attention. This is because it's not even about. Like people need to know, like men need to know, like that's some. They might say some real stuff, see it, but that shit need to be filtered out. Like that shit just can't just sit on the internet and nobody say nothing. It's like even the way it started with reproductive rights. It's like yo, you get a table of black men who could talk about anything in the world, and you choose to talk about reproductive rights. It's insulting to men. It's like it's very insulting.
I think that those men were given those talking points based on who hosts the panels. And again, you see it all the time. And it's so bad now that you can almost tell, like there's a certain, like the women who have these panels who make men want to have these conversations, they all have a certain like look to them. None of them are unique in how they look. And it's always like, you can just tell. Like one of my favorite movies is Black Dynamite. Mm-hmm. And there's a part in that movie where one of his hoes comes in and just starts talking shit, and he just knows he don't even have to look at her. He's like, "Euphoria, I ain't even got to fucking look," but he knows who it is. Like I know who was putting these panels together, and then when she came on camera, everything that I was thinking was right. It's always a certain type of woman who wants men to have these types of conversations, and then what I feel that all the men failed was rejecting those talking points. Because if you invite me onto a platform and you think that I'm going to sit here and talk about things that are just for women or anything that's going to paint men in a poor light, I refuse. Because as a man, I know that's irresponsible for me to do. One, with my platform, two, with my voice, and then three, with my time. It's not worth it. And I don't believe that any of those men were paid to be on that panel.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it's like, it's just a new kind of black man out here. And they need to be called out and they need to be exposed. And it's like, this conversation was, stuff I was hearing was like, wow, man. Really crazy.
Yeah, you just watching the back and forth. Like, I wasn't even, as soon as I spotted, you know what I'm saying, the dude who like the boy lover, like it was just, that's just, you don't have skin in the game. And listening to a gay guy talk about how black men should treat black women romantically is like listening to a homeless person, you're saying, give you stock advice or telling you, saying about the housing market. Like it does. You can't tell me, you can't teach me anything that you aren't doing. And I would be a fool to listen to someone whose results don't match the information that they're given. Because if you have the information and then you're not making it actionable, then that's how I know that information is probably, you know what I'm saying, unreliable at best.
Facts, man. Let's dive into it, man. Yeah, these guys.
If you can't even commit marriage to a motherfucking woman, what makes you think that she wants to commit to having a baby?
The reward for being
like, I'm already mad. Like, what are you talking about? My God.
Like, how many of us? That's the thing. Women are having babies at damn near triple the rate in which they're getting married. And
but why are you saying this shit? Like, what?
Because I'm telling you, what she did was this was that lady's way of getting a woman in that panel. Because she put a woman in a man's body. But like he acting like women won't suck a nigga dick first before they'll make him a sandwich. So you think that women on that same type of time are also not going to give a nigga a baby before they require marriage? Like, and the statistics just don't support what he's saying. So that's how you know, like, he was planted in this conversation so he can make sure that women's talking points got seen and got heard.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I don't know. It's just these guys just, I don't know how, because they always come off like they learn, like the main guy that was talking, like he really was irking me.
Being disciplined is the outcome of what makes men so great and what makes men be able to understand.
I think
I just want to see who's going to be the voice of reason. That's somebody who's reasonable. It can't be all of you.
All right, so we rolling.
You know you're not showing
So
the
this
video,
the
right?
thing. We done
my
came
fault.
together. We done been brought together. We got Sister
man,
Song,
yo.
Sister Song is the homies, and they are doing some revolutionary work. I mean, 2025, let's just be real,
Sister
has been
Song.
full of some weird shit, some fuck shit. It's been just some strange shit this year, and Black people being attacked left and right, our stories, our educational institutions, our safe places,
This is
and
the
our
slick
power.
part. This is the slick part that he did real quick that a lot of these people do. They always come in the door with us. They either come in the door with the Black man or Black people. But look
Every
how
time.
fast the conversation shifts to the Black woman. Like he come in with, our people, our people, our people, but immediately it shifts to her.
Every time.
That's my thing, I got an organization called Build Power. So I'm really about power, and it's from the legacy of the Black Power movement. And I don't think you can get any closer to power than the person who birthed it.
Right. Yes.
The Black woman, right?
Yes.
A lot of the time it's Black men that stand in the way of it, right? That get in the way of, what we're supposed to be empowering. We're
Getting in the way of what? Like what level of power are we prohibiting them from?
There's not one, and they can't.
You mean the power to run us and tell us what the fuck to do? Because that's the only power they ain't getting. They ain't getting everything else. Like what power are we preventing them from attaining?
I don't think Black women are being prevented from having any type of power, because the only group of people who are matriarchy is the Black community. Black women,
to me, they're the most empowered.
Yeah,
they literally have the power.
So I don't know where he was coming from with that one, big dog. But at the same time, I don't expect these types of niggas to make sense. I don't expect to be able to understand him or relate to him. Because the moment I do, it's kind of like when we say on panels, if you say something and all the women go crazy and start doing all that yes queen shit, that's how you know you said something stupid.
This guy, bro.
Supposed to be collaborating with. And so when we're thinking about things like, Sister Song is steeped in reproductive justice. And when we talk about reproductive
collaborating with them to do what?
It's the human right for bodily autonomy. Now, here's the thing. I get into all the academic terms and then I get confused. So we're going to get into it for real about what this means to us, what the human right.
Oh, he said a mouthful. He said, I get into the academic terms and get confused. So my brother, respectfully, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nothing.
What the fuck? He's saying this in his opening statement. I really don't get into the words and the definitions. I get confused and stuff. I don't know. But you coming to us talking about reproductive rights, what we need to allow their power to be, man, shut the fuck up, bro. The academic. This is an academic conversation. This is an academic discourse you're trying to have with us. I don't want to get into the academics. Yo, this should be crazy, bro.
You want to have an academic conversation? Huh?
Did you peep? He said that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. One, I was kind of hype at first. I thought Michael Beasley had cut his braids and shit off, and he was part of the conversation. He was a pretty smart guy. But then when I saw it wasn't Michael Beasley, I was like, oh shit. And then Buddy said that, it's an academic conversation, but I don't want to have an academic. Like, what the fuck are you talking about then?
What are you talking about? Excuse me, he would have lost me right there. And I would have been like, yo, excuse me, brother, hold on, what?
To bodily autonomy, the human right to have kids, to not have kids, to pay.
You're using words like bodily autonomy, like these are academic terms, brother.
Parent kids in a healthy environment, to set up that environment, and what goes into that actually means to us. And I want to make sure that, the way we're talking about it, other people can understand it, because I know for a fact, if people came to me however many years ago and was like, hey, what you think about?
Tell who's been like educated by a woman. Like, it's another thing to get advice from a woman, talk to a woman, but you could tell who's been like scholastically molded by women's perspectives. As far as their introduction to knowledge, it's almost like people who approach spirituality strictly from a Christian or church or religious perspective. Like, a lot of men engage information from a perspective of and I'm gonna say this because this is real. They're not just speaking from a woman. They're not just speaking from a woman's perspective. They're speaking from the perspective and pain of an unattractive Black woman. That's a specific perspective. I know that should sound controversial, but they're speaking on behalf of the girl that they'll never deal with. Like, it's not a fair, like, it's a certain type. Am I making sense, Willie?
Look at the host of the show, nigga. You just said what I said. It's always a woman. I just didn't say it was, but I mean, since the cat's out the bag, they speaking from the women, like the ugly, ignored women, the one that want to have a voice, and it was saying in these situations and spaces, and they don't. It's like he said, revenge of the nerds. It's like, yeah, it's revenge of the ignored.
It's just a fact.
But just look at the lady who put this panel together, and it tells you everything that you should understand about the panel. Because what you don't see is you don't see attractive women in their prime having these types of conversations. And you don't see wifely women past their prime involved in these conversations that have these viewpoints or that are even concerned about these types of things. And you also don't see masculine men of value having these talking points and then talking about they participated in the emasculation of men in general. So,
but on the same time, a lot of these men are successful.
So
you
gotta
quote
think,
unquote, they do have,
they're successful.
Shape, they got the money, they got some acclaim.
They're successful at the
for the
thing.
sake of argument, people could say that,
they definitely can. So right, but you got to think the metric that we're not measuring them about the success they have. Okay. We're talking about as far as being respectable men that other men respect. And nobody up there is respected because of their masculinity, their manhood, or the type of man they are. Two of those niggas are actors. Both of them, one of them was bending dudes over in his role. Another one is dating a tranny. Then you got the dude who played a scammy pastor. He looks just like him. Don't nobody know who the sissy dude is, and nobody has heard the rapper dude's music. And then for Clifton Powell, shit, that's Pinky, nigga. So we understand. We already came in. If anybody, he's the most notable person on that panel. So they are successful at things, but none of the things they're successful at are part of this conversation. And just being logical instead of emotional, being masculine instead of effeminate, those are the two metrics that would apply for this conversation if we were judging it, and they all suck at that.
Facts. That's a fact. Let's get into it.
Reproductive justice, I would have a very confused look on my face. I'm like, I don't know exactly what that means and how we engage with it. But everybody here comes from a different perspective, a different life, a different experiences, and we want to bring that to this conversation. So I know that there's no way to get there without the empowerment of Black women and centering Black women in that power talk, in that power struggle, in that power strategy, in that movement, in our behavior. And what in y'all's eyes does that mean to you?
What are you talking about? And I'm sorry if y'all know how I do, like, because I don't want us to miss these little nooks and crannies they be talking about. What movement? Every political, holistic, all-inclusive movement in this country, grassroots, for Black people was always started by Black men. Like the blueprint has already been put down for how to approach it. Not saying you got to do everything, but it's just a blueprint. Like the NOI gives you a blueprint. Black Panthers give you a blueprint. Many other communities give you blueprint. Most of them started by Black men, and the Black woman's already included. These niggas always trying to reinvent the wheel as if these things have never been addressed, and we need to, like, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? We already did all this shit. They didn't want to listen.
And from y'all's experience, what's your connection to or experience with reproductive justice, and what does that actually mean to you?
It's a waste of time.
As a father, you fall deeply in love with parenting, right? And what that means and understanding the responsibility that it takes. But you also learn as a father, the mother ends up doing so much more than what you can offer sometimes. And it's just facts. You don't have breasts to feed this baby. You don't have the kind of just natural intellect to kind of carry things. That's why a lot of fathers just say, here you go, I don't know what to do, right? So I think for one, it's just accepting that.
That's another misnomer. This is, it's going to be so much I can see. I'm unpacking this show because it's just a lot of stuff men be saying that I feel like don't be true. When I was living with my daughter and she was a baby, I didn't say, head, I don't know what to do. I said, give her head because I know what to do. Like, I was never that type of, like, what are you talking about? When it come to my child, I didn't need nobody to tell me what to do with her. Like, this. Like, I be hearing women, they be say, oh, my father, he didn't want to talk to me about this. And I talked to my daughter about everything. It's like, Do you feel that way too? Do you think that's like this fake narrative about men just, I don't know what to do with the baby, I just give it to the mother because I don't. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like
the fact that the first thing he said was that he used to support his claim was that men can't breastfeed. So of course, a man is going to give his hungry baby to the mom so she can pop her titty in the baby's mouth. That should be common fucking sense. However, men in mass aren't just saying, here's the baby. Oh, here, take the baby. I don't know what to do. Because to be completely fair to women, a woman does have more ability as far as the survivability of a child in the first 2 years of life. I can't argue that, right? But again, I'm not accepting the premise that men just decide to, okay, well, you do it and then whatever. Because after that, from ages 3 to 8, it's about, they're almost equal as far as what the child needs from the parents. Once that kid turns 8, it's almost a 60-40 split. And the older they get, the split becomes more so in favor of the father as far as what the kid needs from a developmental aspect. So when these guys are talking about bodily autonomy or reproductive rights, that's not a conversation for men. We conceive children, we don't produce them. We don't there's no conversation that we should be having about reproductive rights as men or how it applies to men, because the only conversation we can have is, well, she had a baby, I got her pregnant, and she got to have the baby that I didn't want, or she got to abort the baby that I did want. That's the far as we go when it comes to reproductive rights. Because again, the way that our society is set up, once that woman is pregnant, his reproductive rights are over. He has no say in that, the conception of that baby, past conception of that child.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so it's just like, these conversations are still insulting to black men, and it's just like, yo, I just feel like when people go out their way to try to make black men or women look stupid outside of what they just do on their own, like not sensationalize the ignorant, just to call it what it is. If they do that, that's cool. But when they try to put some extra on it, it's like, yo, bro, we ain't really got time for that shit. Like, we seeing what the structures of our society is really into. We seeing what the politicians and all the reality makers are doing in reality. So we're gonna get some residual effects of that. But we gotta look at the bigger picture. But these conversations with grown ass black men in 2026, it's just insulting. It's like, y'all still don't give a fuck what we care about.
Understanding that you are there to help produce and provide, but then there's gonna be so much more that you can't, provide. And so just trying to be a support system around whatever your spouse or your girlfriend at the time is choosing to do with their body. It's something that I've learned over the years, personal experiences from having to make that decision to have an abortion, with your girlfriend at a young age, to end up feeling like that you didn't have a say-so in it, right? And then understanding as a man where you don't. Once you decide to go into that position and you put your seed into this woman, now that's her decision where to go. You can't say, well, I don't want no baby. You can't have it. No, you should have thought about that before you go. So teaching my son that, right? And understanding that you have a decision very early on in the process, but later on you don't. And if you decide to go through with it, then you need to be ready to support and provide and do the things that you need to do. So that's kind of been my learning curve over the situation. And then just feeling horrible for, as we were talking off camera, about all the women who've lost their lives in this situation and not being able to have the medicine that they need. And not only around, reproduction and having babies, but even down to like fibroids, right? Mm-hmm. My wife struggles with that, and black women not having the information that they need to figure out how to get rid of the fibroids and all those type of things. So whatever we can do to just kind of lean in and learn and listen, that's what I've been like. Same thing. If somebody would ask me a couple of years ago, I said, I guess my perspective may have been different, but now we're in a time where you really just want to have a different understanding. I teach my son that.
Respectfully, what does fibroids got to do with anything?
Nothing. At the fuck all. They just found something that a lot of women can relate to, because I think like up to 60% of women will experience some sort of fibroid issue in their life.
Just like men deal with prostate cancer.
Yeah, so I understand that, but what they do is they just try to give a woman something they can anchor their victimhood to.
Having everybody got certain ailments that is exclusive to their gender or their race, so like that's.
We were just on the other panel, and they pulled postpartum depression out of their ass, as if more than 7% of women deal with that. So it's the thing is like anytime you see these people have these talking points, these effeminate men have been like indoctrinated and programmed to always give women something to anchor victimhood to. And today they use fibroid, which is a good one because again, so many women have it.
But it started off about reproductive rights. Like, you know, it's all over.
You know, and then also my daughter, you know, what decision she has to make before she lays down with somebody and how it can change your life, right?
So it's incumbent upon you to have that information if your desire is to be a father, is to understand the woman's point of view and the things that they go through. We think of a lot of things that we go through, our upbringing, not having a father or having a father, all our experiences, and the dream of being a father, you know, and having a son or a daughter, and what kind of father you want to be. All of that comes to mind, but before inception, those thoughts never came to me in the sense of what she would go through. You know, how would I handle being in a waiting room and being told something and not knowing information? Who do I lean on? All those things that come to mind that happen when you're in the delivery room or the process of having a baby or having a healthy delivery and all of that stuff. And then, you know, I think it's absolutely important for us to have these types of conversations and have these thoughts leading up into the idea and actualizing fatherhood. You know, I think we center ourselves, you know, the patriarchy of it all, we center ourselves, you know, we're the ones that make it happen.
I always say something. I was raised by women.
Right.
And I ran into some brothers a couple of years ago, last year, when we were running for election, who felt like Kamala couldn't lead.
Correct.
I said, but your mother ran a house.
Right.
And my mother tragically died when I was 4, but my sister who raised me was a gangster. Could take $1 and balance the budget like in 25 minutes, $100. So I think that in order to trust Black
if you ever want to see like if somebody is capable of like abstract thinking or saying divergent, convergent, or any other different thinking type, look at the analogies they use to try to drive home that
Kamala
point.
is not my mama, bro.
Bro compared people thinking that Kamala Harris couldn't lead to a woman because it said that was foolhardy because he had a woman who was raised him and all of these things, right? As if people know Kamala couldn't lead because if they thought that she was a viable candidate, they would have subjected her to the same process that every other presidential candidate has gone through, and then she would have had to have won a primary. She didn't win one because they knew she couldn't win one. So they just tried to put a bunch of money behind her and force her, try to push her through, thinking that the Black vote was going to carry and the women empowerment and the yes, kids can be girls. I mean, yes, boys can be girls. Yes, girls can be boys. Yes, girls can be in the boys' bathroom. Yes, boys should play girl sports. They thought that they were going to be able to have enough support if they just shoved her down America's throat. America's going to accept that bullshit, and they didn't. So
exactly.
And what's really sad is the fact that he compared that to his mom. Like a woman running the country is not the same as a woman running the house. A woman running a house is not difficult at all. If you look at the tasks that have to be done, you can set a schedule and you can automate most of that. But a woman running the country, the most powerful country in the world, that shit should never happen. Because on the world stage, the world doesn't respect women as leaders. This woman being a leader shit is only prevalent in the West. Most of the men in other countries, Russia, China, most countries in Africa, most countries in South America, EU is kind of cool, but they kind of artsy fartsy and gay over there too. The Middle East, you know what I'm saying, like Australia, none of those people are going to respect a woman because they don't respect women as far as leadership goes. So
yeah, because anything outside the house is the field, and they like to look for these anomaly situations where this tribe of women here and this tribe of women there. It's like, look, that exists, but it's never going to be the majority because, like I keep telling people, it's about function. Design denotes function. What you're designed to do will ultimately take over, regardless of what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like women are designed for a certain thing, and they are designed for a type of authority, but it's an in-home authority. That's their realm, the home. And they've been convinced that that realm is inferior, that realm doesn't matter. And it's like a woman makes a house a home, and that's just not something that they're interested in anymore. But that is your realm where you can have a lot of power, which is basically the core of the man, because you deal with the home while the man deals with the world. They want to deal with the world with the man, so no one's in the home because everybody's in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Go ahead. You about to say something?
They get the easy part. If I was a woman and I had a man who was out here slaying dragons, fighting the world, and coming home and providing a lifestyle where all I have to worry about is what happens in this house, I would shut the fuck up and worry about and make sure that I did the best of my ability what took care of what was in this house.
But look what you got to understand who be dealing. Like, you just said a triggering word to them. If a woman heard what you, a lot of certain women, now I ain't gonna say all of them, but certain women, if they hear you say the easy part, that's triggering to them, Willie. Oh, it's easy. Like, they don't want to, they don't want to do nothing easy. They think doing easy stuff makes them inferior than you. And they think that's the argument that makes you the leader, is because of what you're doing instead of what you are. That's what they don't understand. They feel like, well, I can do that. But you can't be that. They so focused on the doing. I want to do what you do, but it'll never make you me. So if you, a lot of times I've been talking to, I talk to women and they don't like, what you mean easy? I could, like, they be getting triggered by that shit, bro. Like, they really want to do what you doing, man.
So this is one thing that I respect about, like, especially women that women I admire. Like, my woman knows that the shit that I do to make sure that the lifestyle we live is lived, she knows she's not capable of that. And more importantly, she doesn't want to be. That's not her lane. That's not what she was designed to do. There's no way that a woman should be out here, saying for like what my personal schedule is. There's no way that she should be, saying, running multiple teams of people, running multiple businesses. Actually going out here negotiating contracts, negotiating deals, listening to pitches. That's not what women are for. Like, she shouldn't be doing the protecting or providing or any leading of anything other than her household. Like, with a household, like, I'm the owner, she's the CEO. I put her in a position to run my house the same way I put people in position to run my businesses, or I put someone in a position to run my team. Like, it's not a partnership at that point. It's a team. Exactly. My woman is the CEO of my team, and she manages the house based off of what I give her. Now, I know a lot of women get offended when we say things are easy. However, anytime you see a woman that gets offended by something that's objectively true, that woman is just emotional, and you can't have a conversation with her. Exactly. Because you can't have a rational conversation with an emotional woman who refuses to use words as they've already been defined.
Hold it down for me. That's my work phone.
Women, we gotta kind of, like, I think you and I were talking about, or no, I was talking to my driver on the way over about holding yourselves accountable. Mm-hmm. 81% of people don't talk. And Black men have to talk to the women. And a lot of the women, and it's not 81% of women, it's 81% of people don't talk. So I think it starts with a dialogue. But I can personally tell you, I can't imagine walking around with another person inside of me. Mm-hmm. And I think that we have to yield to women. And I don't think the government can tell you if you were raped. I mean, they're talking about if you were raped or molested, that you have to have that child. Mm-hmm. I don't think the government should have any say in that. Along with women having a choice of their bodies, we also have to teach our daughters and sons how to be responsible. Yeah. Not rely on the plan B, because abortion shouldn't be used just so you can all go out and have a good time. Right. Because we walk away, but women have to deal with the body, the changing your body. It's so much. I tell my girl all the time, I couldn't do it. Just having a menstrual cycle. I would say, God, can y'all let mine come it's like once a year. I can pay somebody once a year, because I watch my girl go through the changes emotionally, and not just physically, but it's a lot of shit women go through.
You muted me, dog.
And my thing is this. I'm not trying to downplay the sisters, because it is a lot of stuff a woman going through. I was raised with a woman. Women do go through a lot of things. But for one, based on a lot of fact that we were raised around a lot of women, and we live in a culture that prioritizes understanding women. Like, this rhetoric is not new. We was raised under this mindset. So we have a certain sensitivity to what they go through. But I think we do it to the point where we don't really know what we go through. We don't even understand our emotional scale as men and the things that we go through physically. A lot of men don't even go to the doctor until they need to. So it's not like whatever they're dealing with, it's not even a part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like is this? Do you feel that way? Like, do you feel like we not even? It's like they just know more about the woman. They know about themselves.
Yeah, I think they try to champion women more than they try to champion themselves and what their actual imperatives are.
Exactly.
Nobody's downplaying what a woman goes through as far as like biologically speaking. I couldn't imagine having to bleed out of my ass for up to 7 days at a time. That would be the worst type of life, the worst thing that can happen to me. Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm scared to go to prison. Because we know what happened to niggas in there.
Exactly.
Nobody is downplaying that, but when we do highlight that, what like stay-at-home moms make it seem like they have a whole lot of shit to do because they're stay-at-home moms. Like, well, what the fuck else do you have to do? Like, you stay at home, you take care of the kids in the house. That's your job, and that doesn't take all day. If I work 10 hours a day, I promise you're not doing 10 hours worth of work in 2 days because there's not much to do. Unless the kids are 1 or 2, then that's a lot more because you're paying attention to the child more. But once that baby gets on a schedule, you know what I'm saying, those kids start taking 4 or 5 hour naps and then sleeping 6-8 hours a night. You're not really doing a whole lot.
Exactly. Because they don't, not all, but the ones that speak from this anti traditional perspective, they that's not empowering to them. It's not, it's about power, bro. They want power. That's why, like he said, we got to realize how to, empower. Like, that's the power. The power is in your ability to calm the savage beast. Like, that's your power. Like, the most powerful women, even back in history, it wasn't a woman that was swinging a sword. She was swinging around her femininity, her energy of a woman. Cleopatra, all these different women. They wasn't swinging no sword around. I mean, they might have sent somebody, but I'm saying these women want to be on the front line. Like, it's like this. Your power is your femininity. Whether you want to accept it or not is a personal problem. But we got our first. Go ahead.
And this is one of the few things where I think that women do have an advantage over men. Is I think that a woman's femininity is significantly harder to master than a man's masculinity, because once she does that, like, a woman can control her man through her femininity. A woman can control men in mass via her femininity. That's how Cleopatra and some of these other women who weren't violent but were still running shit, because they played into their femininity and used that weapon in line with men's masculinity. So they're more of a, like, we're more physical, strong, strength, prowess. They're covert, subtle, nuanced about how they display their power. And I think a lot of women are too lazy to actually conquer and master their femininity, so they think that they can just go master masculine because it's easier and it's more primal.
Exactly. Shout out to Team Illa with the first super chat of the day. Shout out to Sister Jamie. I appreciate you. The $5 super sticker. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Those are excellent points. They just do not value that power. They don't realize that when tapped into it, it's because I guess a man has a power too, but it's more physical. Like, he has to move something. Like, she can just be there and can get a lot done that we would have to move mountains with years of work. She could just come in and just talk with a certain tone, with a certain energy and certain look that even other women bow to it. And it's like, I don't know. And then the funny thing is, the ones who do have that today, they use it for the wrong reason.
Bro, you know how a really good example is, do you know how what a man has to be in order for him to be the type of nigga that when he walks in a room, other men straighten up, other men get their shit together? Like, the level of like aura and like respect you have to have for a man.
Hold it down. My shit froze. I'm gonna reset it.
That you have to have for a man to command that. But a woman just has to be a woman. Like, when, we deal with these hyena bitches and we deal with these, we're saying whatever, right? But when a lady walks in the room, everybody straightens up. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, like your mom walked in the room. We in the barbershop and a woman, we talking about, dick this, bitch that, whatever. A woman walk in the room with her child, we stop because she's a woman and we see that woman in there. So she come in, we switch up the whole way we talk, we switch up our whole demeanor because of the respect that we have for that woman. That's femininity. A man has to be, 6 feet tall, jack muscles, and have some sort of, understood level of violence that he's capable of before men give him that same type of respect. And that's way harder to get than just being, a feminine, classy lady.
Yeah, and I've seen, what I've seen is a lot of women these days, they are the opposite, where they be trying to tell you to accept the fact that this is how I hate them, this how I talk ass motherfuckers. Don't you hate them? This just how I talk. Motherfucker, talk another way.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't mind them because that's an easy fix. Like, and this is what I do to people who talk like you. And then they're like, oh, well, wait. So if you can change, like if I have to not do what I normally would do to someone who spoke to me that way, you have just the same ability to stop talking to me that way, so it doesn't warrant me doing you the way that I would do them. And when you put it to them that way, it usually it's like the first or last time that happens. Because they
I definitely nip that shit in the bud, but it's just like I run into a lot of women who need that attitude adjustment. It's like, yo, calling me nigga and all of this, like, oh, just potty mouth. It just be like, wow, like, yo, nobody want to hear that shit, man. Like, they just be wild with the mouth, and it be like so embedded in them that they feel like making that adjustment just changes everything about them. It's like, no, it don't. Like, you're trying to change me. It's like they bond so strongly to such minor things that can make such a huge difference in their lives and how they perceive. And they be so small. They don't even be big, bro. They just be holding on to that shit for dear life.
Anytime a woman says you're trying to change me, you say, absolutely, you goddamn right I'm trying to change you. Because if you were good as you were, we would have been together already. But now we just met, and who you've been wasn't working. The guys before you didn't stick around because of who you are. So now that you realize you have a man that you actually want, there's going to be things you have to change about you. One of the things that I've seen from these panels and just learning about women in general as I've gotten older is I appreciate a woman who when she talks to her man, like she's classy enough and feminine enough to not talk over him. Like that is something that I grossly underestimated or undervalued until I was in my late 30s. Because anytime, like, we on these panels, we talk over people, it's typically because we think what we're saying is more important than what they're saying. That's the root of it. And when a woman who will actually have a conversation and then not talk over her man, that's one of the ways I can tell that she really respects her guy. Because we can be having a conversation about anything, but she's cutting him off or she's like correcting him or doing that type of stuff. Like that's one of the telltale signs about how classy or how feminine a woman really is to me.
What does it tell you about the man, though? Because I be feeling like when I see that, it tell me more about him.
Well, of course, I mean, I focus on a woman, but again, anytime I see a man with a woman that doesn't respect him out loud, I think he's a sucker. Because why would you a woman who doesn't respect you and privately, you should never be seen with her publicly. Because in public, that woman can put you in the most perilous of positions. Her mouth will write a check that your ass and hands will have to cash. And if she writes it, to the wrong bank, that shit is gonna bounce. So you can't that's one of the reasons why. Like I used to, when I was married when I was young, she'd be like, "Why don't you take me nowhere?" And I'm like, "Because you're gonna have me either catch a charge or have somebody put their hands on you, and then we both get shot." Like that's why in the house where you belong, because that's the only way that I know that you're capable of acting. I can control you in the house. I can't control you saying get mad, and because what type of time I'm on, you think that covers that you have the right to go put me on that type of time with somebody because he looked at you a certain way or he bumped into you or he did some shit you didn't like. So no, fuck all that.
Exactly.
So I think men, honestly, need to sit down and shut the fuck up. Right. It's a lot that we don't see because if you weren't raised that way, you don't know. It's like you listening to you guys trying to be good husbands. The women gotta let us in and we can't tell them what to do. And I think this government has to step back and let women make choices for themselves.
What the hell was that? God damn, bro. It was a fucking 20-piece super combo of bullshit.
I agree with one thing he said. I do believe that, right, as conservative as I've seen the lean, because I think I'm actually independent when I take the test and see where my values are. I do think that women should have have the ability to have abortions, right? Or saying abortions. And this is why.
I thought they had it.
Well, they do, but people trying to take it. Like I get there's a large contingent of people who want to make them illegal all across the board. But there are cases like when incest, SA, when the mother's
in
life.
those cases, absolutely.
But to hear what he's saying is that where I disagree with him is when he's saying that they should just be able to do it arbitrarily. Because for me, I'm a father's rights advocate. That's one of my passions. I think that if a woman can abort a baby, a man should be able to legally abandon that baby prior to it being born if he doesn't want it. That's a hill I will die on, because if you can't force a woman to have an abortion, you should also be able to force a man who you knew didn't want to be a father to be a father just because you guys had sex.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a woman was forced to do it and all of that, like I'm all for being able to remove that. But sex on both sides is pregnancy. Sex and pregnancy on both sides is extremely preventable.
100%.
Very. So it has to be both sides have to be afforded the opportunity to go about it the way they would like to. You know what I mean? Like, but what he just said was just
women can start carrying condoms with them. Women control the access to vagina. Women control if the man can have unprotected sex with her or not. And then you'll have some very feminists. Like we have feminists, that'll say, well, what happens if the guy sneaks the condom off? Like, I don't know about your vagina, but for any vagina that I've ever been in, I'm fairly certain that it was not loose enough to understand or not tell the difference between condom dick and saying raw dick. But if that's what y'all are saying, then that just also points out that you guys aren't really in control of your vagina. So I don't have an issue with, we all want to have protected sex. I don't think you should be fucking anybody. I don't think you should have sex with someone that you have to protect yourself from, first off. But if you are having sex, females should be the ones having condoms, and we should be using female condoms, because if they're the ones that are going to have to carry the baby, they're the ones that can die from childbirth. They have significantly more responsibility in that portion of the conception of a child than men do, because a man, he can ejaculate and evacuate. If that woman gets impregnated, she's going to have to take steps to either one, remove the child, which is traumatic, or have the child, which will also be traumatic for 18 years.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's wild, but like the fact that they just make men seem like just little boys, and I don't like that.
It's a matriarchy, so that's what happens in matriarchy. Men are always going to be put in that position.
But to see them accept that, and people got to pay attention to a lot of roles these men play. Like, they play very typical roles. Like, even the brother I was just talking, he's on the shower with the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't even know the depth of manhood and the positions that they're in. If you're an actor and you know how impactful the man is and the woman is, that should alter the type of roles you take, because Black children and youth are going to be watching this. So why would you take on a role like that? That's not empowering to young Black men or Black people, period.
Because to them, it's more important. It's more important to get the role than what the role represents to their people. That's why I don't respect anybody having this conversation right now. There's no way that me as an actor, with the views and beliefs that I have, that men should be of this or men should be that. I'm not a supporter of, the LGB community is cool, right? But everything after that shit is retarded to me. So I don't support none of that. But there's nothing that there's no role that I would take that would have me portray myself to support something that I don't. And some of these people are just so thirsty. That's why a lot of these actor niggas will get put in dresses. Like, we give Tyler Perry hell for he made $1 billion being a cross-dresser. But we don't have that same type of energy for a bro who is actually on video giving up neck to another man, to bending over another man, or to a dude who is dating a chick that is a dude because it's trendy and it's popular, and those are things that Black women want to push and promote for Black men, because it's like an overall part of the agenda that these certain groups of women have, where they're trying to emasculate Black men.
Yeah, they're trying to turn us down. And I realized that in my youth, and just how women were always trying to make Black boys docile. and turn the girls up and make them go getters and make them, you don't need a man, but you're turning down the vessel that was built for that. And you're turning up the one that wasn't. It's biologically and biochemically fucked up. Like this shit is all fucked up from the inside out, how they raise. And I'm talking to, when I speak, I'll be talking to a certain era. Everything, like I would say, like post 79, 78, I think I'm talking about this epoch of time. I'm not talking about grandma. This, we've been changed, and this is what it is now. This ain't what it's always been. This is what it is now. And they trying to remix manhood, and I don't like it.
So even the school system does that. They try to teach boys the way that girls learn. Girls learn best by sitting in classrooms and organized, and they have the attention spans to sit down for 6 to 8 hours a day. Boys don't learn that way. That's not. That's why you see this. Boys are rambunctious, or they get in trouble for talking and playing in class because we're just not biologically inclined to learn that way, and they try to force them to in order to support later on down the line. The whole go to college, get a good job, work for 40 years. But if you see the schools that actually cater to the ways that boys and girls learn, those kids are performing at 600-700% of the people who are in regular schools, which is another reason why you see so many other countries have better education systems than us. If you look at Japan, you look at China, you've seen the videos of all of those kids being able to dribble balls, going over and saying in rhythm, they can do room dances, they're choreographed, they're organized, they're teaching those kids life skills. In Japan, a 5-year-old kid can go to school by himself. He puts on his hat, he puts on his yellow coat, he will get on the train, and the community will make sure that he gets off at his stop. There's a person waiting for him to get off. They go on the train, look at everybody with the yellow jacket for whatever the school is, everybody for the red jacket for that school, and they take them into the class. Like, we could never do that in this country. Ever. That we will never, ever be able to do that. And it's simply because we're trying to force everybody to fit through this same pipeline, because at the end of the day, it's a dollars and cents issue.
Exactly. Like the sister, she just said, black men need to go after white men. That's the only time things will change. Listen, man. First of all, the black man did all that shit already. What do you think the Panthers was? They went after the system. I ain't going to just say go after the white man specifically, because they never just went and did that. They went after evil white men. You know what I'm saying? They done. Black men done did that shit already. All these things y'all asking for, black men already did, and the community betrayed black men. Black men betrayed them, and black women. So this is a new black man. The black man today has to become industrious, and he has to become a world, global economic pillar. That's what the black man got to do today, because he did everything else for y'all. He fought in the street. He did when you look at, when I look at our people, when I look at people, I don't look at them in the micro. I look at them in the macro. So when you look at black men as one entity throughout time in this country, if you look at the whole of black men as one person, he's did everything. He's done everything. When you look at him as one person throughout the history of the world, he's definitely did everything. So it's nothing else the black man need to do to prove shit to this community, but help it the way he deems fit.
Like, women who say shit like that, they just as bad as these white men ain't talking about, because they want to see black niggas go crash out. Like, I have no, they've done it. I have no respect. I have no respect for these type of women, because these women don't value black men. They look at them as pawns. This woman the women who say stuff like this, they're okay seeing a black man go throw his life away as long as it does something for the benefit them. And I would almost say that those types of black women are worse than the Ku Klux Klan and all of these racist white folks, because they're already embedded with us. So they're a tool for the white man who's already inside the community.
That's a good point, because that's what the people got to realize. Every time we try to get to the root of things, our people get in our way.
Yeah,
we can't. It's too many of us, the Agent Smith mentality that's in our community, that every time you try to do something different, somebody that look like you.
Example. These Agent Smith women, like, people act like white folks keep black people down. Black people keep black people down significantly more than white people do today. In the past, there's no argument that there was systemically, black people were systemically oppressed. today, right now, the most oppressive thing to a black man is a woman like that.
But this the part where we got to connect it to, because you're right. And I think the problem is people don't connect the two. The past was the injection of this. So it never stopped. It just progressed. It's like they was injecting this. When they break up the family, that's injecting family issues. When they affect you medical apartheid, that's injecting sickness and disease. When they show that your leaders get killed, when your great movements get died, that's injecting despair, self-hate, and all these things were injected. We live in an era of the injection taking place and showing roots in the host. It's all connected because people we talk about like it's just two different things. Like, no, they intersect. Like this, what we have today, what else could come from all of that but this? So that's why I understand, but I still have to call it out.
Yep.
Because they injected this shit, man. And now you got men that talk like this.
Women are the first wonder of the world, despite what's said. It's the first wonder.
Exactly.
That's the only thing outside of God that
I'll take that. I'll give them that. I'll give them that. How you feel about it? Do you think women was the first wonder of the world? No, Willie, not going.
You say the woman was the first wonder of the world?
That might be a fair argument.
So I mean, men were made first. So I would say that if anybody was in first at wonder, it probably was a man because he was in wonder or awe when he saw a woman for the first time. So I mean, if we take it there, but if we take it as an overall thing, nigga, I think you know where I stand. that's not something that I'm a co-sign. They are a wonder in the world, but the first wonder, no, I don't think that I could.
I mean, I don't know what, to be honest, I don't know what. Yeah, I'll go with that. Because I don't know what the first wonder really was. I mean, even if you go by the Bible narrative, it's like you got waterfalls, you got plants. It's a lot of wonderful things in this world. You know what I'm saying? I guess the most wonderful thing, I guess you feel like you can enter. I mean, women, they up there.
For sure.
Women, they on the list.
Yeah, but just to answer the question, I mean, I'm honest. The first.
No, we good. I like it.
I know that creates first and foremost. The issues that we have are that the woman knows before we know whether or not life should be brought into earth, brought here, or if it should be aborted. They deserve to have that right for the simple fact of America does not allow us to run a system the way we should as a family. Men don't understand. You may be the leader, but you might not be the provider. Do you know how to lead if you are not the provider? In the midst of trying to figure it out, we coming from a whole bunch of systematic. It's been constructed for us to be the way that we are, to think that we are. That's not how it was programmed.
And then talk about that program I mentioned where they took.
I don't think he said anything. Do you?
No.
Do you think he?
Nothing.
What did he say?
That's how I know I don't need to go listen to this nigga's music because it's probably ass. Like he just did all that talking and ain't said shit.
Like it's like it's like if you watch the football, they keep throwing it backwards to it's a safety. Like it's like.
But it's a safety that takes 6 minutes to get.
It was a loss of 40 yards.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening. I'm like, okay. And it's like he just got out the car and started walking.
How does a woman know that she should have an abortion aside from aside from the man telling her that he's not going to be a father? Or that
it was a whole bunch of incomplete thoughts because he started with that. Yeah. You have to land that somewhere. And then he went to another point and he didn't land that. It's like he just took mad cars and just parked in any kind of way. Like
to park back in his driveway. Yeah.
Yo, that was some fantabulous bullshit, bro.
Hey, listen, man. I'm telling you, women getting good at coaching men because now they got men on panels. You're saying just spewing words salad.
Yo, we would eat them niggas up, bro.
Pause.
Black fathers take black fathers out of the house.
And then from there, me and Cliff was talking about that. When it started with the Section 8, women were able to take care of the kids without the man being in the house, which gave her the mindset that I can be the leader because I have to be the provider. And then after that, it was a crack epidemic, which guys started using or they was going to prison. Regardless, we stayed out of the house. Now it's social media and the thing.
It wasn't just using and going to prison. They was paying these chicks bills. Don't just breeze over that, bro. I remember them days. They was paying for people to go to Six Flags. They was doing a lot of other stuff too that just wasn't just dying on drugs and going to prison. No, they was taking care of mama and all of them, and they was turning the blind eye to that shit. Like, let's not act like that ain't the case. You see how he did that? He was real slick. You speak that shit.
So this is I hate when people like lie or just wrong. Like this, how you know this nigga has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. This didn't start with no goddamn Section 8. Section 8 started in 1974. So, like, this is what happens when you put these niggas on these panels who just aren't informed. And I will admit that I have I'm unusually informed about Section 8, given that I'm a long-time Section 8 investor and landlord. However, me understanding the program is one thing, but knowing the history of the program, any of us could do. So before we start putting, like, you start saying shit on these panels, you really got to know what the fuck you're talking about. Because now people like me and you can have conversations highlighting that you're a fucking idiot, that you're just talking out your ass and you're just saying shit because you want to be involved in this conversation because it's going to be on YouTube and you need the clicks and views.
Yeah, it's wild, man. That's why I be saying these performative conversations. It don't even necessarily always mean that they're being fake on purpose. They just are performing because they're not informed. When you're not informed, you have to perform because you're not informed. So you have to act the way. You have to give off the image of when you can't just be proficient in something. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they entertain us, man. And I'm tired of these cats speaking on behalf of men, confusing men, and really confusing women for co-signing things that real men ain't really fucking with.
Is we were always here to protect the black women. And if you ever seen the movie Sparta, men were actually the leaders, but the leader knew how to lead because he still.
His reference is the movie Sparta, bruh.
Okay, so he's not talking about the movie.
I think he mean 300.
So yeah, and he's referencing the Spartans, right?
I know what he's talking about.
This is why you got to shut the fuck up.
The European culture.
So no,
this is the funny thing. Go ahead. I'm gonna say something after that. Go ahead.
I'll give him the Spartan reference, right? However, he still doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Spartans were raised from the time they could fucking walk to fucking fight and be military, be a militarily authoritative. That was what part of their culture. If in Sparta, those kids were thrown off a fucking rock if they were too small as a child. So to that alone, a lot of these niggas wouldn't be here. So trying to compare Sparta to right now in leadership is just like, again, he got out the driveway, got fresh, got dressed, got in his car, drove around for 45 minutes and pulled right back into his house because his GPS didn't know where the fuck it was going. He's not saying anything.
Nothing. Yeah, Bad Stoner says, so anybody with rhetoric that doesn't match your own rhetoric is wrong or performative? No. But
I don't think that anybody with a basic grasp of logic or the English language would think anything that we said would lead someone to believe that.
Like, not at all. But you know, they gotta see you gotta have people like them. They make the world go round. But yeah, what he said was just a bunch of nothing. Like, first of all, this is how you know they don't even know history. The Spartans lost. Okay? They lost. They lost to the Persian Empire.
They put up a good fucking fight, though. You got to give them that.
You know, the Persian Empire, which was, they said, the League of 1,000 Nations. There was Moors involved. Like, there was a lot of, they put it like this. They lost to people of color. Who came and told them, yo, you need to get up out of there? A Moor told them. So it's like, y'all don't even realize, like, you talking about a way of life that failed according to against a different way of life. So that shows you how much you don't even know about history. The Spartans lost, man. They got their ass kicked because back in that day, it was people of color that was really running shit way more than people realize. And shout out to my brother, Big Bunny, B Sammy. He said, my boy Illa and Willie, what up? Keep cooking.
The crazy part about it is that the fact that it took the League of 1,000 Nations to supplant or usurp Sparta says a lot.
Oh, that was crazy.
Because again, what they were able to do with the small numbers they have, it's like me and you go running a 1v10,000 and we just dog walking 10,000 niggas. That's literally what they did. It took 1,000 nations to get them niggas out of here. You got to give them respect for that. As one of the great.
I mean, they were war. Like, one thing about people, they are definitely fighters. They like war and record keeping. That's like
100%.
They historical claims to fame is violence and record keeping.
Like,
So,
and these niggas are the male feminist Spartans of saying if Sparta was about feminists, this round table was going to be full of niggas like that. Like they just been, you know what? I just want to train men to be soft, weak, and put women first and be women centric and cater to women as if that's ever helped our society in any point in time in history.
Yeah, I heard the shit they did with them boys in Sparta was really real. Like they would send them out to the wild or some shit like that. They would have to kill them. Yeah, they was wild.
Nigga, I got a 9-year-old on the couch, right? No disrespect to him. I gotta watch this nigga make a couple noodles. Back then, they were sending the 8-year-olds out with a spear and a wool jacket, a spear and a knife. He had to go kill some shit to make his clothes, and then he couldn't come back for the whole fucking winter. Like anytime, like they always go so far right and so they're so fantastic with the examples they pull because they feel like it's like an appeal to authority and emotion. Like, well, leadership is Spartans. That's not the type of leadership that we need because, again, if that was the case, all of those niggas would be dead. Because when they were 8, I guarantee you none of them niggas was going out there and slaying shit or killing nothing. I bet you most of the niggas still slept in their mother's bed when they were 8. So to think that you want to compare Spartans to like with the leadership we need now, you niggas wouldn't qualify. And then the gay dude, he couldn't even, they would have killed him immediately unless he would have to be from Athena. Because the Athenas, they call it, you know what I'm saying, artists and boy lovers. That was what they were known for. They were the freaks. So he'd had to go over there with them, but none of them were warriors. And you saw what happened to them. Persia ate their ass up too before getting to Sparta. So it's just like, if you know the history, the references he's using refute every point that he's making.
And the crazy part is they don't realize like we have always been like the product of what you're saying for men and women today. It's under the power and authority of women. Like we are exiting the era that they was running shit or having the last word. Like we've been in that. And it's like, this is your time now, man. They like, no, she got to do it. She got to lead us. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Trusted the woman with the gift that God gave her, which was intuition and discernment. And if you knew how to treat your woman and she knew how to love and that stress was off her, it allowed y'all to operate as a family unit to be able to trust her so she can be able to trust you. Once you realize how powerful that woman is, a lot of us run around, and even for myself, I struggle with being monogamous because I didn't understand the value of the woman. But once you put a woman next to God, would you play with God the same way? And if you knew what you possessed.
And that's where you go wrong. See, that's the black woman is God talk. Like, it's like, bro, first of all, bro, if you were the woman who don't want to deal with dealing with other women, you shouldn't do it. So I'm gonna say that for the record. But a man's nature is polygamy. That's just his natural inclination. That don't mean you have to act on it. That doesn't mean the women of our community gonna acquiesce to that. Doesn't mean none of that. But that's just your natural thing. It's not a this sickness you can't release, nigga. You're never going to stop feeling that way. Even when you like men be lying. Even when you choose to be with a woman, that's shit. You choosing to do that. But that's not how you naturally feel. You naturally like women and even love them, but you do have a natural side that will always want other women. That'll never stop. You just can quell that or control that and move on and move in a situation that's conducive to the situation you want out of your life. But to act like that's not going anywhere, bro. That's not something you need to get deliverance from or some shit like that. And it's like, oh, you put it next to God, bro. Bro, God made you that way, nigga. You can have kids until you damn near die. She has a moment where it stops. So what does that say? Because God is just the source of natural phenomenon. Like, for lack of a better expression, it is the creator of natural phenomenon that you can't create. So your life, your sperm count, your ability to have kids, there's eggs and everything, that's the product of God. God said they have a time when it's over, and he said you don't. What does God mean? If that's the case, who's closer to God? The one that can create until they don't create anymore, or somebody who gets to a point and then it stops? If you want to play the God game, that's why I hate playing this game, because it's like, what's really more God-like? The infinite ability to create children, or the limited ability to inhabitate one or maybe you have triplets or whatever at a time, but a man got like 20 women pregnant. A man can bring in 40 children in the world in a month. A woman can't do that. And then you have a woman that say, well, she can have triplets, and it's like, yeah, but we can have mad children and it don't affect how we look or nothing. Like a woman having mad children is going to affect her hip structure. Like unless she had this crazy diet, like her body is going to change. She's not going to be pristine anymore. Man can be pristine with mad children. I'm just talking about natural phenomena. I'm not talking about moralistic, not talking about religious. I'm just talking about natural ability. If you want to play the God game, that's more God-like than our partner, in my opinion. Do you agree, Will?
100%. Yeah, there's nothing that I don't agree with there.
I don't understand these guys' rhetoric. Like, it's such a brokenness in these men.
As powerful, I don't think that we would run around with promiscuous mindset of thinking it's okay because we want to look at women the way that we are downplaying the thing of how they are.
So I'm gonna real quick though. I think that there's something I think that's really dope that you started with is around women being first close to God, right? Like, because
that's a fact. I bet you did. I bet you did, bro.
And talking about creation, talking about creating, because I do think people talk about the human race all the time, and it started with blah, 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 blah. It started in Africa, started in Africa with a black woman, right? And so I do think the closest you could get to power, the closest you could get to life creating circumstances, and is with the black woman.
Yes.
But also just want to ground us in, when we talk about reproductive justice, it's not just about birthing, right? It's not just about having a kid, and it's about, when we talk about bodily autonomy, it's about, we all want the right to control our bodies. I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my body, right? And that is a right that expands even beyond having a kid, right? And fostering that environment to be able to raise folks. Like we talked about, like the village, right? And that it takes a village to raise a kid. It wasn't like, okay, all these people on the block got a responsibility. It was actually,
it's a village to raise a child, nigga. A kid is a fucking baby goat.
You understood that kid that every decision that goes into raising that kid, teaching that kid how to move, teaching that kid how to communicate, it forms their future, but it also affects everybody in the village, right? And so everybody had a responsibility to make sure.
Pseudo shit, man. How you just done cha-cha slided your way from reproductive rights to raising a kid? First of all, reproductive rights is about removing a kid. So how the fuck do you done segue that into now the kids are here like, nigga, shut the fuck. Yo, bro, what? Yo, bro.
When people talk about it takes a village to raise a child, what if the village is fucking retarded?
What if the village is retarded?
Like, look, I would not want my son around any of these niggas' kids. None of them. None. One, because my sons are funny. And then two, like, the internet's a thing. So I would want my son hanging out with a kid that he can YouTube a video of his dad taking dick. That's crazy to me. But like, the more influences, the more positive influence a child does have, will substantially increase the way that his childhood is experienced, and he will end up a better person because he's had more positive influences. So it should go without saying. But the village needs to be checked too, and I think that's up for men. That's up to us to actually do and to actually see out, because when we're not, this is what happens. Like, you got a village at this table that none of us respect, and that we wouldn't want our daughters to date. We wouldn't want our daughters to have children with these men. We wouldn't want our daughters to experience men like this romantically. So it's kind of weird to me, but I'm also, I think that I might just be too intolerant of weak and feminine men, just generally speaking.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. These cats I'm just trying. Like I said, I'm trying to find the same. Not saying they're just crazy, but I'm trying to find a person who's gonna give pushback. I'm like, is this a real conversation, or is this just agreed upon we ain't shit session for the 2026? Like, this how y'all want to start the year off?
That person and the people that were raising that kid had what they needed, had the healthiest environment and things, to make sure that everyone is okay, that we all can live the life that we deserve, right?
What are you talking about? Like welfare or something? Like, what do you mean? Like,
You know what's crazy? Throughout this interview, most of them confirmed that they didn't have a father.
I mean, a lot of us didn't.
But
That don't mean that
it doesn't.
I'm
You're right.
a man and hate being a man.
There are definitely outliers. But for one thing that I've experienced in these panels is that when you start hearing niggas talk like this, the men that talk like this didn't have a father. They didn't have positive real male role models around them. I do understand that there are just some dope women out here that spit out men, the boys that turn into great men. No argument there. But generally speaking, on this panel, the fact that like Clifton Powell was raised by women, but then somehow turned out to be a ain't shit nigga to women, cheating on women, running bitches, putting his hands on bitches, all of that stuff. But he was raised by women.
Because a lot of times when we raised by women, they pick them kind of niggas.
Yep. And then when a guy's raised, I'm very, very fortunate that I was raised by my father. I think that's probably
because I wasn't. But one thing I could say, I feel like single men, if they do have multiple women, like they say if they raising a single father is raising a child,
right,
and he dates multiple women, he be bringing around dope, whether they stay long or not. They be dope women that add to that child, whether it be temporarily or long. It's never just some. Most single mothers and the guys that they be dealing with, it don't be like that. It don't be that caliber.
My dad's with my stepmom for the majority of my childhood, but they split up sometime, off and on shit. His girlfriends was bringing, cleaning the house, picking me up in the morning, taking me to school, picking me up to school, dropping them off. Like every woman my father dated added to my life somehow, in some way. Every fucking one of them. I've never seen my mom date anybody. And I think that's because of the example of the bar that my dad set for her. Nobody could add up. And then I see the same parallels as a kid now. Like there's not going to be a woman that I can bring around my children that doesn't add to them. When my girl comes to cook for me, she cooks for everybody. She has a relationship with the kids on her own. She talks, and then, I have a daughter now, so she can also have that bond with her. Women aren't as likely to have that happen with the men they date because the majority of men, we just trying to drop off dick. We may drop off a Happy Meal or two, and I'm saying an iPad charger so we can go smash the mom in the bedroom while the kid is in his room and hope that Benadryl will kick in. A lot of these women don't experience men who are invested in their children as much as they are invested in them because they don't require them to because they got a daddy. Men, if you fuck with us and we fuck with you and you get to come around our children, it's just natural. It just happens because women are naturally nurturing. Men aren't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Let's get back to this guy, man.
And so, I do want to also make sure that, I ain't got no kids, just so I can't talk about,
So you ain't got no kids. So
the standpoint of a father, but there are fathers at this table. I also got 25 nephews and nieces. I'm unk over here. You know what I'm saying? I got unk strategy over here. But there's perspectives from all on this table from every angle of it, and I do want to go back to and we can go wherever you wanted to go, whatever you wanted to say, but I do want to talk about that. Like you said, the government shouldn't be involved. Keeping in mind that this is a government that was steeped in what they call white supremacy. I like to call white delusion, right? You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing, right? And they
don't want to believe that they came from.
The funny thing is, you are an extension of that same shit, though, bruh. You are an extension of that shit. Like you are talking about reproductive rights and all this weird shit. Like, bro, this is their rhetoric. This is what they brought into the conversation. Because at the end of the day, we all agree that if a woman is abused and she gets pregnant, then she should be able to get rid of that. But most women are using the abortions as a way out of not having to be stuck with a nigga that they don't like. Cool. Why you fucking with him in the first place? You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like, and most women who go through that, I don't think they had that same argument. Like I said, I was watching. I had the video of the woman talking about how the whole abortion thing was a opinion, an idea of upper middle class white men. That was their literal idea. Like she literally said that. So it's like when one of the writers of Cosmopolitan magazine. So it's like these guys don't even do their homework or where these concepts come from. They're actually that same white supremacist ideology that you claim is such an antagonist to your people, you are talking from their perspective, buddy. That ain't your shit. Hold on. I want to show that video real quick. I don't know if y'all seen that when I first aired it. Yeah, check this out real quick, y'all. They talking about abortions and things like that, but this is what the woman said back in the day when they were writing and suggesting these themes in Cosmopolitan magazine, where they actually came from.
Of women had gotten together and started the National Organization for Women. Again, they were fighting for equal opportunity for women in education and the workforce. It's very well documented that the abortion movement was originally a man's movement, an upper middle class white man's movement. But there was a man, and there were actually two men, who were fighting to get abortion legalized in America. These two men knew Betty Friedan very well, and they worked very hard to try to convince her to insert abortion in the women's movement's political Bill of Rights.
Bang. Like, that's where it come from. You know what I'm saying? They come from that perspective. So these same men always talking about the white man. It's like, yo, most of y'all talking points, most of the information that divides us come from these people. It don't even come, it just regurgitated from your people or somebody look like you. But it's all they think.
From a black woman.
Yeah, and the definition.
You came from a black woman.
Well, the definition of, masculinity, the definition of what we do with our bodies and how we define a government's role in that came from that corrupt standpoint, that corrupt perspective. So I 100% agree that the government should do anything about it. But where did you want to go with that?
Well, I think one of the things that I think helps, I believe, with women's right in terms of their sexual reproduction is the relationship that we have with the black male. I heard a psychiatrist when I was on one of the panels say that African-American men and women are suffering from 450 years of post-slavery PTSD.
Yes.
So one of the things that I love about this thing right here is that the next one I want to see is black men and black women sitting down together and talking about how do we learn to exist in peace. And I say that because I'm saying this, and a lot of times I have to catch myself. It's emotional. I grew up with a lot of violence around me. My father, when he drank, I seen him knock women. My father fight a baby. He was just off. He was mentally off from the oppression of this culture that broke him. And, so we.
And I agree with him. I didn't see my father do that, but I know a lot of men who did, but they had 99 problems, but a chick wasn't one. And we have to be honest about an era where a lot of women just chose a man for the wrong reasons. Your choices, because we can't keep pretending that was all that was around, was just a gang member or a drug dealer. That just wasn't true, man. It just wasn't true. And they keep trying to act like, that's why our women chose those men. No, they chose those men because those men were more comfortable with them. Those men didn't require a certain growth. Because there was a difference between the dude that was getting money, that had a vision, that got caught up. Because everybody in the street wasn't just some dumb lowlife. Those niggas that was getting money and bust moves to this day, and they done cleaned that money and you would never know. But then you had those just can't get right niggas who just acted, it's a different level. It's different types of dudes in the street. And a lot of women just pick guys that were just convenient, man, and try to build families off of that. And they raise men that come to these conclusions as if it says so much about the men. Now, I'd be saying a lot about the women because most men don't have children. A lot of women do. But what's your say on that, Willie?
I mean, there are twice as many black men without children than there are black women. So that supports your last point. It's just I can't have a conversation with somebody who's not in the fight, who's not in the game. It's like I wouldn't want to talk about selling dope to a nigga who's not in the streets or he's not in the dope game because he's not for him. It's not for him. I don't want to talk about business with someone who thinks that, working a 9 to 5 for 40 years is the best way, the only way to be successful. Yeah. So to talk to a man that doesn't have kids about father right or reproductive rights or any of that shit is crazy to me. So.
Hello.
A lot of us were born into that, our fathers, and we're trying to break those cycles. So somehow that ties into me to women's reproductive choices in terms of having a baby with a guy that's comes from a broken family. Now the baby coming in with a broken family, and bam, 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 and mother's asking the father for support. Like, yo, I ain't actually had that.
That's decision making. That's not that has nothing to do with legislation and all of that. That's making a better choice. You can't legislate a mindset. That's bad choices. So I guess he's bringing it. I guess he's making some sense. I mean, he started off kind of crazy, but I think he's trying to show them without really rocking the boat of saying the real shit. I think he's trying to slow. It's funny that he's older, which is very ironic that the older dude get it. These young cats is lost, but I think he's trying to like show them how these women made some bad choices, because what he's talking about can't be legislated by no policies. How you feel about that?
I agree. I think this is a hard time. This is what happens when you have, multiple generations of people having a conversation about what's currently happening right now. Because then because they can't have it, they have a hard time, or they seem to be unable to talk about what it is without basing it off of what it was for them. Because what it were for them, those days are past. When he came up, these weren't an issue. Clifton Powell came up in an era where being, a boy lover was not necessarily was shunned. It was not globally accepted, and you were stereotyped for probably having HIV or just being a detriment to society. He didn't come up in the era where that the birth rate was so low. He didn't come up in an era where women this last fourth wave of feminism hit. So for him to have his experiences aren't necessarily applicable to today's experience, because he's not experiencing what these young men are today currently. So the conversations they have is just typically like, well, back in my day type shit. And those conversations are only productive when you're talking to like your granddaddy about, family shit. Not like any of these conversations we're having about productive rights or the alphabet community or all of that other shit.
Yeah, because that era is what created this disdain that these women have now, where they go overboard in trying to like anything. It's like it's to the point that anything that comes off masculine women try to change their children from that. They don't want them to be nothing like the men from previous generations, because they feel like that's going to make them a monster. So they try to make them real soft, real feminine. So that experience has give them a change their whole motivation of how to even deal with their boys. Like I see a lot of women, they taking pictures with their sons, barely got clothes on. Just a lot of weird ass shit going on, bro.
Super weird.
Baby. That ain't shit. I don't even know if that's ever. I mean, there's so many levels to this that make women coward or not want to talk, or be the victim of one guy shot his baby mama and the kids the other day. It's so I think we got to attack that from not just right now in this racist culture that we're seeing with this administration, but also from a generational standpoint. For sure.
I don't have the historical information, man. That's why I'm a listener, man. I'm a great listener.
I hate when they act like this legislation, administration is so racist. I'm just like, I'm not saying he is or isn't, but I'm like, yo, none of them give a fuck. Like, none of them care, bro. It's not like we out here getting hunted and slaughtered in the street like in the 50s and 60s. It's some racism here, don't get me wrong, but this shit ain't the Klan days.
But when I hear, from your generation, your perspective, and your perspective, and everybody's perspective in the sense that as we get into it, I feel like we let women down in that regard. We didn't stand on business. And
what you mean by that?
I just feel like we let depression wear us down. Fathers let depression wear them down and beat them down, take them out of the house, and
they forced them out of the house.
Forced them.
No, they had a program. They forced them.
I get they
didn't leave the house.
I feel that. I understand that. I can't. Ain't nobody gonna make me leave my woman. I get that. I get it. But ain't nobody gonna make me leave my family.
What's your response to that?
One, thank you for having this shit in 1.5 or 2x. I noticed that, so appreciate you. And then two, again, you know what else they can't do? They can't. You can't force your woman to not make you leave. You can't force your woman to choose you over the government assistance programs that were put in place to replace you. You can't force your woman to value you, which is, a relationship which is difficult, takes effort, takes energy, takes, conscientious effort to choose the easy route, which is having the government be your man. The government gives you food stamps. The government pays your bills. The government gives you subsidized housing. When now you get to go be, a strong, independent black woman on your own and not listen to a man who doesn't want you to dress a certain way, doesn't want you to talk a certain way, has certain expectations of you as a partner. You get to go now do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, and you don't have to go to work yourself to get it. Anyone who thinks that their woman would choose them over that lifestyle is nuttier than squirrel shit.
Yeah, there's somebody in the comments saying, why would women choose government assistance over a man?
Whoever that is retarded. The question is why did they?
I don't know, but they did.
Why did they choose it? And then I just gave you examples of why they would choose it. I literally explained it. Like, this is the cool part about these panels. We said
maybe because the men couldn't provide. Maybe the children were starving.
Maybe you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe you could Google it and figure out why they chose that. Maybe the internet's been a thing for the past 20 years and you just choose not to use it.
But do you think there's some truth to that in certain cases where the man just was? I mean, it still leads back to the man you chose. But for the sake of argument, you think in some cases that was the case because he just couldn't? What do you think was more the case? He just literally couldn't provide, or having to be able to get provisions without his influence was more convenient to the woman?
I think that he couldn't provide enough to make the woman value the relationship and the things she felt like she was sacrificing after being told, hey, you can go be so much better. You can go to work too. You can go do this. Oh, you don't need a man. That's what it is. Because anytime you tell somebody that they can go get what they've been getting by doing A, B, C, D, and E, over here, for only doing A, people would be stupid to not go do that. However, in this situation, this is exactly what happens. Like, it's not this. This is a fact-based conversation. There's statistics, numbers, data, and historical records to support this. So when someone tries to infer all these maybes, you just understand that they have a ceiling of understanding that they are choosing to not break, and that's fine. They have the right to. However, again, like, these are the types of women who would have chosen the government assistance over their man.
Yeah, and it is documented. I seen some documentaries where the women were literally just talking about it and saying that, we rather just do it like this. Matter of fact, let's check it out. Since the person claims that, we just making shit up and whatever, let's look at what they actually was saying. We're just going to peruse through this real quick.
I'm gonna save my dough. Get away from here. I ain't gonna come back no more.
Welfare mothers, and the children too, feel that they are on a dead-end street. That the way things are, there's not enough money and no way to hold up your head. And so they've begun what amounts to a welfare revolt.
Damn, you starting to tell on yourself. The person said, weren't they just coming back from war, broke, no job? If I just came back from war and I'm broke and I don't have a job, is that me failing me or the system failing me? I just came back from war and I don't have no money, no job.
The fact that they have to ask the question lets you know that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They have no idea.
This is what I'm saying. Like, these types of women, the one that said send out the crash dummies, these, like, white man definitely did a big one when it came to, like, infiltrating our community, because if they didn't, women like that wouldn't think that way. Like, it's bad when you're stupid, right? In private,
I don't know if that's a woman or a man, to be honest. I don't know who that is.
It's 100% it's a woman. It's a woman, or it's a man who wishes he was a woman. Either way, if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for, like, these types of women, like the ones that want to be crash test dummies, the ones that want to they want to miseducate people by questioning historic things that have been proven, like, this is weird. Like, and this is what happens when you let women infiltrate these spaces. We're talking about men issues and masculinity, right? And about either way, talking about how this is like feminine talking points, then they come in wanting to do this. Like, all they come in to do is they don't add to any conversation. That she just wants to be contrarian and she wants attention. Like, again, this internet shit is weird, but it's made us unintentionally give stupid people a platform.
Yeah. Yeah, but some people think like that in the real world, and they need to see that whatever they think they know challenge.
You look on TV and you see that poor little kid from another nation. Oh, he looks so pitiful. I feel so sorry for him. But I can't overlook the fact that we have poor little kids in this nation.
Mrs. Etta Horn is a leader of the welfare rights movement. Their principle and their overwhelming complaint is that there simply is not enough money to raise a family, and then that it's given in a self-defeating and self-perpetuating way, that it degrades the people who receive it.
I have children. I look at my kids and I think, am I going to really prove to them where it starts at? You know, they're always screaming about delinquents. American Welfare Department makes delinquents.
There is an evil system around.
Martin Luther King believes that welfare is part of that system, damaging to black and white alike.
Will not get right until this evil system is removed, because as I have listened and as I've looked and as I've lived in the ghetto, I've seen what this evil system has done to my brothers and my sisters. I've seen how it has left little children with clouds of inferiority formed in their little mental sky.
It comes to about $117 every 2 weeks, about $3,000 a year. Not enough to pay the rent, feed and clothe the kids, and provide the diet that the doctor has told Mrs. Ortiz she needs. Another child is on the way, but the father of her children has deserted her. The fact that governs everything else in Mrs. Ortiz's life is money, or the lack of it. Her inability to give her children the things they need.
It's a different one that I was watching. Actually, in my hometown in Newark, where the girls was like saying, we'd rather do it than have a father. But, you know, some women, you know, some people need it. Like some people actually need some type of government assistance. But there was also a group of people who realized the game of the government assistance and used it to have children, but not have to take care of them, not necessarily have to deal with a man. So it became something that they exploited over time.
Family. I get what I understand that I could never fathom what went on back then.
I think you might be alluding to weak ass.
I hate when people say I can't fathom what went on back then. Find out. Like when you have discussions, it's good to have some information on the topic at hand. And even if you just want, you should just know how things processed and progress in the reality that you live in. Like these men just, I don't know. I was always a naturally curious person about history and information, but this new generation, they want to have all these opinions about the moment, but you don't know how, you don't want to learn how this moment created itself.
Men allowing things that might be coming up, like, you know, like, oh, this seems like, I don't know exactly the historical presence of it either, but you know how you say like, oh, like,
nobody knows shit, like nothing. But they talking though.
You stripping us from the house. Oftentimes, I'm a man who dates men. A lot of men are strong. So the way that you say you're not gonna take nobody from my family, you're not gonna strip me from my family. A lot of people don't walk with that. A lot of people don't have that. So I mean, like it is systematic, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you somebody, I mean, you part of like the few men who is not gonna live their life like that.
I mean, I get a system.
I don't know why we even giving this nigga no airtime. Like he adds nothing to. He adds.
I'm looking for the reason. I'm trying to say who's going to say something that's what can we take from? Is there anything, any nutrients?
Nothing.
You can take from this shit because it's like, bro. First of all, you should be a fucking receiver of some shit, and you just think about it. And this just hit me as he's talking. I'm like, bro, you're talking about men and women and what men ain't doing. Nigga, you chose a man. You didn't choose a girl. You don't even want to be with a girl. You whatever you into, you found value in a male. You didn't find one in a woman. That's a man's fault? I don't know. But go ahead, man.
I do think he is a receiver, though. I will. He's definitely a receiver. But this is the thing. He's adding. Only thing he added to this word salad was sugar. Like there's nothing of substance in there. Now you drink. Now your blood sugar gonna be saying thicker than fucking black people Kool-Aid. Like having somebody like you can't say. How do you say at the same time niggas ain't shit? Niggas got to be more responsible with their dicks when you aren't responsible with your dick and you like your partners to also have a dick. Like you don't have. There's nothing you can say. Like, if any masculine guy on that panel would have been like, hey, I honestly don't believe that you have a voice here, and we don't need female representation in a man's body on this panel. So, like,
No,
I
this nigga
as soon as
built
I
like
heard his
fucking
voice,
Sean
I was
Merriman.
wondering, and then once he confirmed it, I skipped past. Anytime his face, I just skipped past it because he knew that he was not gonna have anything to say. He's just a menstruating man.
Yeah, it's so much jewels of bullshit. I think I could just close my eyes and pick a spot, and they just gonna say some bullshit. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cause I seen the other light skinned guy said some wild shit, and now he's talking. So we
A
gonna.
lot of people want to get treated like a bitch. That's the truth. Like accolades, get treated like a bitch. Like you want, like, oh, like
take care of me.
Yes, take care of me. Like, or like, you know, oh, like I'm the prize. You know, I'm the prize.
You talking about when you become rich and famous.
You don't even got to be rich or famous. It could be you going like for 12 years in academia. What?
Like a bitch, like a bitch.
That's how they want to be treated. Some men want to be like
that we are supposed to, that we have some sort of privilege in certain, in some situations, that we have a little bit more power than somebody else, and that we abuse that power. We use that power to try to control the situation in our favor when we should be listening to other people, when we should be honoring their existence and centering their freedom, their liberation. You know what I'm saying? So what their experience. So what does that mean to y'all? What does that even mean to dismantle patriarchy? What is that? Why is it harmful? And I'm not putting that necessarily on you, but whoever wants to.
Can I go?
What does that mean? Yeah.
So when someone comes to you and they already know what you possess as a person, you know, like,
what the fuck is these niggas talking about, bro?
Nothing. Like, I swear this dude talks so much because he want to keep his jaws loose for later tonight, bro. Like, he's not gonna say shit at all that's of value or relevant.
The guy with the green hat, he's really annoying the fuck out of me. I hate those fake youth pastor cool niggas. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, just like what? Dismantle patriarchy? Like, whose patriarchy? Black patriarchy is not an antagonist to black women's growth or anybody's. Like, what are you talking about? The only patriarchy that's running the world is a white one. But they keep saying the patriarchy. Whose patriarchy? Because if you're trying to break down your brother's patriarchy, bro, shit ain't even got started yet. So you're trying to prevent it from happening? Because the women got the power. It's already a matriarchy. So I'm just confused. Like, are you talking about the establishment, how things are? Because your men need to be running shit, not just women. They need to have wise counsel and be a part of the decision-making process, all of that. But the men need to be at the front line. Like, I can't believe these are black men just saying. I mean, I could believe it, but people need to know, like, what the real is. Like, this is not what it is. Yeah, we live under a white male patriarchy. It's not a black man's patriarchy, but they're attacking black men as if we are running this shit.
The black community is under a matriarchy and has been since the late 90s.
Yes.
Like, what in the fuck are we talking about?
What are we talking about? And it's a matriarchy that's moving on the strength of white pay. This the thing. Black matriarchy is an extension of white patriarchy. That's what y'all not getting. They're intertwined, whether you could peep it or not. George Soros is what pushed Black Lives Matter, which was ultimately about black women and gay people and trans. And that's what it was about.
The crazy part is, right, that if black men were under a patriarchy, we would not be having these types of women-centric conversations the same way white people aren't. Like, the white patriarchy doesn't tolerate shit like this. They're not out here letting white men in mass be emasculated. They're not out here allowing white men to be disrespected in mass by white women. They're not out here in mass supporting ratchetry and fuckery as part of the white culture the way that black women do. So the only reason why all of these things are so accepted, why black women tend to be the ones that are the most tolerant of the alphabet community, is because, again, we are under a matriarchy in our community. Nobody else has these talking points because they let the men run shit over there.
Exactly. And they talking about something, we benefit from the patriarchy as a male. Women benefit from it too.
Yeah, that's what chivalry comes from.
People benefit from this shit. We don't get more of a leeway than, like, what are we allowed to do more than a woman today? You know what I mean? It makes no fucking sense. Shout out to Mont with the $4.99. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
If the black community was living, it was also under a patriarchy, we would have the same benefits that the other patriarchies do, like agreeable women in mass, upstanding women in mass, women doing feminine women in mass, women who don't support all this fuckery and things that take away from our society in mass. But because we aren't, is why that we also in mass support everything that I just mentioned.
Yeah,
the girl just said that we seem to revise history to benefit ourselves. Of the people in the conversation,
who's the revisionist of the world?
She is, because the only person who's ignorant to the history is her. That's how you can tell which, like, she lets you know what she does know and what she doesn't know based on her commentary. So understanding that, like, this is why you can't give women like her space to breathe. Like, this is why if we were a patriarchy, she wouldn't even be comfortable to come on this panel to say shit like that, because women benefit from the patriarchy because it's a benevolent patriarchy. We're taught to not put our hands on women because they're the weaker sex. We're taught to be chivalrous towards women, open doors, because
especially over here, because overseas they really be knocking them the fuck
out.
I
used to live in Bahrain. The very first day I got there, I saw a dude beat the shit out of his wife. A police officer walked past, talked to him for a second. He basically, I think he said in Arabic, like, the bitch did this, and then he looked at her, shook the man's hand, and walked the other way, and he proceeded to go back to beating her with his fucking shoe. Like, if these women don't understand how lucky they have it here. The reason why they can be so precocious and so disagreeable online and in person is because men allow them to be. If Western men chose to, we could take every right that women feel they have away from them, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because we could just
nobody's even moving like that. That's why it's like, what is this oppressive state? You can dress how you want to dress. You can do what you want to do. Like I literally was working with a girl who was in the IT department, and she wanted to come for some reason work in the tech department where we was actually like installers. And they were trying to teach her how it go, how rough it is. She's like, I don't care, I want to do it. Her first week, she had to realize she had to go on crawl spaces and attics, and she did about 3 or 4, and they want to do it. And guess what? They said from now on, when she goes into that, one of us got to do it, she don't have to do it. This was like in 2024. So that y'all have more leeway than men do in a lot of cases. Like, I see the way that women can behave at jobs in public places. Men will get physically restrained and most oftentimes fired. Like, I've seen women going crazy in stores where they work at, and people just be trying to calm them down. They don't be trying to fire them. They be firing. I almost lost my job for what somebody made up about me. I literally got written up at a job that I was just starting in training because they said this is a true story. If I swear to God on my mom, he said, we writing you up because we overheard you call somebody bro, dog. Women don't gotta deal with no dumbass shit like that. So it's like we gotta walk on eggshells way more than women do, especially in corporate America and in this halls of academia. So this is weird. This is weird as hell.
The only thing more protected than black men than women in mass in America were the Epstein files. That's it. Nothing else.
And what man was doing that? It wasn't us. It wasn't us. But hopefully, let's see if they got some sense to come out of this conversation.
Like, for example, like a lot of doctors. Once I feel like a lot of black men get higher education, a lot of people want to get treated like a bitch. That's the truth. Like, accolades, get treated like a bitch. Like, you want, like,
take care of me.
Yes, take care of me. Like, or like, like, I'm the prize. I'm the prize.
You talking about when you become rich and famous.
You don't even got to be rich and famous. It could be you going like for 12 years in academia.
Basically, he's trying to downplay that a man becomes accomplished and he puts some time.
Standards go up.
He has standards now. And you calling that acting like a bitch when you're literally being penetrated by another man. This is diabolical shit, bro. Like, I can't believe this motherfucker said that. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, bro?
No gay man could ever tell me I'm acting like a bitch when he sucks dick. That is the number one thing a bitch can do. Like, you can't. There's nothing more bitch than that. Is letting a man put his penis inside of you. you are the subject matter expert on all things woman and being a bitch when it comes to me and him. There's nothing that you
like
could
you're
say.
squirming and shit from a guy.
Like, and then
what the fuck are we talking about, bro?
I think I hate feminine men so much just because I was raised around like, you know, strong women and strong men. Like, anytime these guys come out, and it's sad, bro, because they score so many points with the hyena bitches and then saying and the gay crowd and then black women as well, because black women treat gay niggas like they're accessories. They're like a Louis Vuitton bag with a person, like I'm saying in a person's body, like they're a fashion accessory to have. Like my gay best friend, all that shit they talk about. And
that's a good analogy. That's exactly what they be doing.
And it's crazy because then now this guy feels like he's on this panel. Like I guarantee you, he is the host friend or he's like in the host inner circle or some shit because he hasn't added anything other than like, you know, a Black Lives Matter because, you know, that's really the gay shit. Like he's just a rainbow flag, you know, saying up here talking about black feminist talking points.
Like, so now we can't be proud of we can't be accomplished men with standards. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. These are the conversations that black women want us to have.
I'm trying to understand you.
What?
Like treated like a bitch.
That's how they want to be treated. Some men want to be like that.
But think about there's relative perfection.
Why does that have to be called treat like a bitch?
Yeah, that's talking about now around censoring like black women and their experiences, and even the saying treated like.
I'm not making that connection. Bitch to me is subservient. Men can be bitches. Women can, you know, like I shouldn't say that.
But you're a man.
Yeah, but
so you being called a bitch is not the same as a woman being called a bitch, especially a black woman.
Yeah, because you don't understand manhood. You gave that shit up a long time ago, nigga.
I feel like the black women that listen to this, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. They're
gonna know, but we don't, and that's the fucking point, motherfucker. We don't. It's not. Niggas need to understand. We don't understand what the fuck you talking about. You are one of them. Like you ain't like you said. It's no. Yeah, man.
What I'm talking about.
As long as we put, because I think it's important. I hear what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it. What I think that it's important that we talk about all of it.
Yes, this is what I feel like. We're speaking in this way. This is how the dismantling happens because the language and how we say things is very important. Sure. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. So like I'm not saying like don't say it because I'm like I say bitch all the time. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's essentially like when we're talking about the systems of power and when we talk about dismantling patriarchy and we talk about masculinity and what that means and what that looks like to us. And I can say even to y'all as someone as cis men, because my perspective of it is going to be
cis men. Like, why are these guys being invited to these conversations with all these melanated brothers? These guys are, yo, get these niggas the fuck out of here, bro.
Do you know how many
these I'll be sure ass fucking niggas, man? What's that nigga from the 80s, man? That Mike, what's his name, man? What's that? Brett Michaels or what is?
I know you're talking about
George Michaels or some shit, right? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. These George Michael Drakes, nigga, get the fuck out of here, cis men. These niggas, yo.
Listen, I don't that anytime once that comes out, like those terms like the shit about pronouns, bro, I check out. Like I don't do business with companies who enforce like the pronouns and shit on their employees because again, that has nothing to do with business. And you shouldn't be say, hey, okay, well, I'm gonna force you if you want to work here, I'm gonna force you to acknowledge somebody else's delusion and mental health. Like that's just not, it's not worth the money. And I've foregone large bags because of this. And the sad part about it is that if you accept it or you agree with it, it makes you complicit in it. And I refuse to be complicit in that. And I think I used to be a little more tolerant, like, you know, say, hey, them niggas do what they want to do. But I have a daughter now. And if my daughter has to go to the bathroom and a 6'3" sissy tries to walk in behind her, it's going to be a physical altercation. Like I'm going to make you wait until my daughter is done, or you can go into the male's bathroom. And if you choose to not do that, it's going to become a physical altercation because I'm protecting my daughter. And then you look at the majority of people who are having, there is a in-proportionate amount of essays happening by these mentally ill people, mentally ill men who think they're women, that it's enough for me to be willing to take whatever consequences come with, refusing that man to go into the woman's bathroom behind my daughter.
Exactly. This shit is these guys, bro. These men do not need to speak to us about us. Like they just this stuff like that just proves that they have checked out on. They don't give a fuck about black men for real. Like they don't care. With all these conversations black men have been going out their way to have to facilitate, they just don't really give a fuck. And they gotta push. They gotta use so-called, I guess, celebrity males, whatever the fuck, to make sure this agenda of masculinity is quelled. Like even it's like when they had the conversation with Annalie Chopper. He was looking at the Bible from a different way. They was all trying to tell him he's wrong. It's like they just want the black man to be this docile little bitch who don't question nothing and make sure that his woman is prioritized over everything, regardless of what she says and does.
It's going to be completely different from how you all experienced it, having come from a different place. So like when growing up I have two brothers, and the way my father taught my two brothers what it would be to be what it meant to be a man and how to show up and what masculinity meant, it was always domination, it's power, it's strength, and it was never really softness, like protection, not softness. So I wanted to combat the idea that being a good man, a man is being like, or men are natural protectors or natural providers. I don't think that's the case at all. Men are not. You can't be a natural protector and provider when you are the one that's causing harm. Right. Yeah. So what do you protect? You're protecting.
So you just assume that like men are just causing harm, like that's they're doing it all. They're protecting and causing harm. It's like men are the fighters of the world. So just like that's like, are we gonna like what are we gonna say about women? Are they the heartbreakers of the world? How can you love a man when you're breaking hearts? Like is that the case too? It's like, yo, we both got good aspects and negative aspects of it. If we're the men are always the ones that's fighting. Men are always fighting wars. More than likely, something physical and violent may come from a man, but that doesn't mean that he's not a natural protector, because even the one that's been, they protecting what they think is valuable. So even in an act of violence or defense, it's a protective act. Now, you may not agree with why they're doing it, but it's still an act of defending and protecting something, whether it be their pride, their neighborhood, their finances, their army, their country. Like, it's all acts of protection and defense, but there's always a protagonist and an antagonist. If I'm protecting my house from people that's coming to rob me, their families are going to be harmed because they might be up out of here. So yeah, it caused harm, but why? It's just so much context. He just removed out of that and just turned men into just monsters who just need to be bridled. Like
if they can't turn men into monsters, then that doesn't give women the right to be victims. So they have to make us monsters every chance they get. Because if we're not monsters and women aren't victims, these conversations don't get had. I mean, they're not had, or they're not even valuable to women, because having a conversation with women about men being good men, strong men isn't beneficial to them, because the majority of them don't qualify for a good man. So they don't want to have this conversation. So instead they trauma bond through you saying their inadequacy as far as to get the types of dating partners they want. And then they can have these conversations because it makes them feel good, because they're surrounded by other ain't shit bitches.
Crazy word.
You say you're protecting women.
You said that so eloquently.
It's
so simple too. He said it the way I was trying to say it.
Now they're giving him the like I said, yo, these niggas be broken, bro. So now they wanna give him the flowers, like he just said something so eloquently. This hybrid man with this fucking it just seemed like this old trope, you know, the dark skinned dudes this dumb and learning from these niggas. That nigga ain't said a motherfucking thing. No. This shit pissing me off now, bro. It's like this shit pissing me the fuck. I ain't helping me with the dread say nothing yet.
Then you be doing this motherfucking hands like this, like I'm gonna fuck you up.
So that is largely how we fight wrong. And then we talk about masculinity.
His hand. Why do they feel so obligated to validate?
Like real recognize real, bitch made recognize bitch made. That's all it is.
That's exactly what that is. I see the bitch in you.
What he's saying is, I see the bitch in you, and the bitch in me wants to hug the bitch in you. But you gay, so I don't want to be too bitching you. I don't want our bitching you to get too cool. But the bitching you is signaling to the bitching me, and I like what he's saying. That's what happened right now.
Crazy word.
Teaching young men and young men boys.
I think we're on to something here.
Oh,
I think we're on to something.
oh man.
I can't listen. I'm so glad that he's been deplatformed from what he was at his peak, because that nigga is the woke Derek Jackson. That's all he is. The woke Derek Jackson with less bitches.
Shout out to Construct Icon. He says, man, we are the shepherd but can be the leopard. Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, like that.
What masculinity is, it's always an antithesis to femininity.
Exactly right.
So then it's just like,
no, it's not. See, now they starting to show this true masculinity and true femininity. They're not antithesis to each other. That doesn't even make fucking sense.
Yin and yang.
They are connected to each other. Y'all don't know what it is. And you speak in them behalf like you do. You don't know it. A real man don't even address pronouns and this and that. So you're already losing us. You don't know what a man is. Real feminine energy and masculine energy go together like peanut butter and fucking jelly, nigga. Like that's the foundation of it all. What are you talking about, bruh? It's just that women are not compatible with masculinity today. So you think masculinity has to change? No, it doesn't. It has to choose a different woman and pick a woman that's more conducive for them, because that's not going anywhere, bro. This is wild as hell, bro. This is crazy, man.
oh, to be a man and to be strong and to show up means you don't be like a woman. So
Right,
a woman
right.
is less than. It's always going to be down.
So let's go back to what we were talking.
Not being like a woman. Yeah, I don't have to be like a woman. And she don't need to be like me. She don't need to be like me for me. See this what they realize. I don't hate to say this. They're speaking from a woman's perspective and a gay one, because a gay person loves themselves so much that they need to be with another person themselves. So some of that gay shit come from a state of narcissism. You need to be with something just like you. You can't deal with the dance of the dragon between a man and a woman. So you talking about they don't want to be like women. No, we don't want to be like them. But we want to be with them. We don't want something that's like us. You want something like you. And you think because men want women that they're missing something. We don't want to be with we don't want to be women. We want to be with women. And we don't want to be with women that want to be us. We don't have to be each other to value each other. It's the variety. It's the spice of life. Like, what is he talking about, Will?
Nothing. Nothing at all, bro. Like, nothing at all. Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
This is crazy.
Listen, right. What I was trying to say to you was this.
I think
Everybody in this motherfucking room, I'm 70 years old. My mother committed suicide when I was 4. My father was a dysfunctional alcoholic. I'm just learning. Like you said, I think when you learn, you gotta do better.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to do better. So we talking about trusting Black women, because that's why the fuck I'm here.
Right.
And I don't like doing this kind of shit.
Right.
Because my brain is on another level, because I live with the boss. I live with a queen who's a boss, that if you saw me, and I'm just saying this, and that's why I got emotional, because I'm living it right now. Every 18 seconds, a woman gets beaten in this country by a man. When a woman is killed, it's by the domestic partner. So it's a lot of things that y'all are talking about that's true, that in order for us as Black and Latino men, or you Latin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm half Latin.
I'm just saying.
No, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying, nobody at this table is wrong. In order to love Black women, we got to figure out where we are as men and how to get away from what you say, that patriarchal kind of bullshit that we.
Like, what percentage of these men is beating these women? It's like, I ain't never put my hands on a woman in my life.
I haven't put my hands on a woman that I was in a relationship with, because I understand the difference between domestic violence and assault. That said, 1 in 4 women is going to experience some form of domestic abuse in her life. You're not wrong there. The thing is also that when you compare women and men in relationships, women commit physical acts of abuse, and are self-reported to do so more than men. And when you look at same-sex couples, 44% of girl-on-girl couples will have at least one instance of physical abuse happen inside of that relationship. And then the lowest instances of abuse is male on male. and they're like it's 17%.
I think I'm not gonna say I don't have the data, but it seems like women.
Like shit, I got it up.
They oftentimes they'll say something to throw a man off, and then he goes overboard. But they mouth and they don't really understand respect. They can get real disrespectful, and then the man just loses all control, and he takes it too fucking far. Brother said in the black community is pretty even. The women are just as violent. Hey man, I know my daughter's uncle's friend. His girl stabbed him to death and went to work at McDonald's the same night. I was his child's mother. I know that happened personally. So I'm just saying, man, they get ugly too.
There's no argument that can be made to say that, you know, black men are more violent than black women. Black women are the most, they kill more babies. In the past 10 years, black women have killed more black children than, you know, SMUs were killed in concentration camps under Hitler's regime. Black women are also the number one purveyors of child abuse, child neglect than all other races almost combined. Black women are also the least likely to pay court-ordered child support as compared to black men. The rates of infanticide amongst black women is almost 8 times that of black men. The rates of post-pubescent child sexual abuse is almost twice that for black women than it is black men. So all of these things saying, and then even that, black women are also like almost 4 times more likely to be violent towards elders than black men are. So the crazy thing is that when we have the conversation about violence, they want to talk about domestic violence because that's the only place where black men are actually literally whooping their ass.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. So yeah, the numbers don't lie, you know. But just you could just see certain shit with your own eyes. Like certain shit, these niggas just be like,
and talk like your dad, be nice to everybody else, but got his thumb on your mother's head. That's not love. So what happens when you come to a woman that you don't see as a queen?
My father ain't whooped my mother ass. Now he cheated on her, he left us. He definitely had his flaws, but he ain't touched my mother.
As big, as rough, as much of a street nigga as my daddy was when I was young, I still don't think that he could have beat my mother's ass because she was rough too. So I don't see. I feel like that would be like George Foreman and Ali. I mean, I think my pops would win, but she gonna know my dad. He gonna know my mom was there.
Now, my dad would knock my mother out. My mother was too much of a lady. She wasn't doing all that.
My mom played with them knives. My dad played with them pistols.
Like if she had to defend herself, she would have to cut him because physically she couldn't. Like what I'm saying is she might have to fight in her, but physically she couldn't do nothing with my father. She would have to stab my father or do something like that. But my mother was more.
Oh yeah, not physically. No. I'm saying
I think most black women gonna do what they need to do.
The level of violence that I know that my mother is capable of, and I have seen her exhibit, is not far off from the level of violence that I have witnessed my father also enact upon somebody. So I think if they were ever to be actually into it that way, I feel that they would both be fucked up to a high degree.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I think most black parents, black people, if they gotta get crazy, that's what the fuck they're gonna do. Like, that's just how we bred. Let's get back to it.
Right now, we just got done doing the No Kings rally, right? Talking about kings, talking about Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? We keep on talking about a queen automatically places a hierarchy. So what do you do to women you see as peasants, and or what do you do when a man does not see a woman as a queen? Okay, I think that's a part of the issue.
Wait. So I think that there was something really important that you bring it up and that you bring it up when we're talking about it. I need a drink. When we're talking, well, here you go. You gonna take one? So I think there's something really important. How do we understand who taught us how to have power, how to exercise our power?
Let's go. This is what I was saying, guys. Just listen, try to hear me. I hate to sound like the grandfather, but I am. Is when you meet a woman who maybe has gone through trauma and has come out of that trauma and has fixed herself in terms of her tone and respect to a man, and she's gentle, she disarms you. But if you never seen that, you don't even know how to react to it. And in the beginning, when I met my girl, I was so fucking mean, and I was tough, and I was all out there, and I was all over the place, and I was disrespectful, and whether it's dopamine or oxytocin, I put all that shit in her face, and I crushed her. This really happened. And I called my partner, and one of my partners was a thug. He said, fix it. My other partner said, when you hurt someone, where you leave them is where they stay. If we talk about being here to trust Black women, we cannot trust Black women unless every man that I know, and I'm still struggling with being monogamous in the streets because I'm well known, is we got to start with, I believe, therapy, or at least reading and going into ourselves, holding ourselves accountable and say, yeah, I fucked up. Because the first thing, what am I calling my buddy? I said, man, she had my phone for you, a fucking month. He said, nigga, just don't say you did it.
We gotta meet people where they are. Sometimes I think you're saying reading. Reading is not the only important thing, because a lot of people. I'm saying people can read and not really.
Everybody's taking every fucking thing I say.
And see, it's just the more they talk, they start telling on themselves. They want you to be ignorant. Look, let's listen to the statements we heard tonight. I'm not academic. I don't understand academic terms. I don't know the history. It's not about reading. Sound familiar?
Sound like shit women say.
Familiar. They like to keep niggas ignorant to history and facts, because once you understand this, it'll unpack all these goofy ass niggas arguing. They want to recreate your mindset. Like, don't know what, it ain't about reading. What you mean it ain't about reading? You reading from their script. Go ahead though, Will.
If there was a building, right, and inside that building there was a bunch of women trauma bonding through their pain and misery and victimhood, this group of women would be outside, like trying to, escort them to their cars, and trying to get their number and do that dirty mac and shit, because they already saying they got their target audience. It's super weird when I watch men try to trauma bond vicariously through Black women. None of the shit that these niggas are talking about are saying that women experience. Have they, one, experienced, and two, claim they have that they aren't perpetrating against these women? So how the fuck do you know? Like, this entire conversation, or any conversation that's one primarily, or say for the most part, had where it's based on pure speculation and conjecture, that's where women thrive, not men. Women thrive on speculation because it's emotional. It's based on their anecdotal experience. It's based on the things, how they make them feel.
And there's no conclusion in that.
At all. So it's a circular conversation. What I respect about masculinity is it drives to a solution. It's a billion problems, but we're going to drive to a solution in those conversations. Women just want to talk. Women and these she niggas on this panel, they just want to talk about the problem over and over and over. Make sure they're heard. Make sure that their opinion is validated, because you see what happens when you don't validate. I'm saying the sister's opinion. They get disrespectful, and they get into that disrespectful Black woman bag
all the time. And now it's like, and they love to keep Black men ignorant to things. Like, I hate that. Like, no, you need to read, because whatever information I'm giving you, if reading counters that, then I have an agenda. Knowledge should never hurt any argument. It could support it or flesh it out or show that it may not be as important as you think, but knowledge can never hurt any conversation.
Well, knowledge hurts conversations with these types of people because
they have an agenda.
Because they're largely intransigent. You can show them, prove, give them all the studies, sites, information, polls, and all the information that will be counter to their point, that would make a rational, reasonably educated person with just a modicum of his default mental faculties. If presenting him that information goes counter to his opinion, then he will have his mind changed. These types of people are incapable, they are intransigent of having their mind changed, because their thoughts are tied to their feelings, which then is what they base their persona and their personality off of.
Facts. Shout out to the brother August Moore with the said just tapping in with some support. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Nah, but yeah, you cooking though, Will. You cooking. Yeah, support the channel, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. We ain't passing back. We ain't passing no Dutch guts. We don't want no chicken bones. We don't want the gum you just spit out. You already know what it is, man.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was a trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Show some love. Yeah, man. Show some love. And yeah, we got some more content coming. I got couple more big interviews coming up this soon, y'all. So y'all tap in. It's gonna be some faces you recognize, some that you don't. You know, I like to introduce y'all to new perspectives as well. It's not just about regurgitating people you already know. You need to learn about some new people. But yeah, Like my brother Willie, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Willie Beeman
Appreciate you,
for
man.
pulling up, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can pull up anytime, bro. You can look at these as one of your second homes in the content space, you know.
I
Whenever
appreciate
I'm
that.
live, you always can pull up, brother. You already know what time it is, man.
Man, I just saw that these Iran, they just bombed the
Yo,
building.
they just bombed the shit out of Iran, bro. That shit was
Wait,
crazy,
no,
bro.
the building when I used to live in Bahrain, the building that I lived in, the floor, like where I live, just got hit with a drone. Like where I was, the actual penthouse I lived in, just got hit with. I watched it happen on TV. Like nigga, damn.
Yeah,
that
it's
shit's
crazy.
tough.
Me, y'all gotta know 11:30 every Saturday. I mean, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Y'all know Unpacking the Cap at 11:30 Saturday morning. You already know what time it is, how we do this every day. The chat is open for the last little 30 minutes. The link is open and people want to contribute. Listen, we don't be talking over none of that. Take your turn. When you get the chance to talk, please don't talk over. But the last little 20 minutes or so, I'm going to open up the panel while we finish out this dissertation of broken black men.
I'm taking the shit that I'm saying out of context, bro.
I'm explaining from concept.
You talking about reading? I'm saying reading is a myriad of shit you got right.
That's not what I'm even going to. People read and don't understand what they're reading. You just said that.
No, but you can't tell a grown ass man what he don't know how to fucking understand. Who are you to tell somebody if they don't understand what they're reading? They need to read first, though. Shut up.
You're a woman. You're Black queen. She's the queen to you. And essentially, you kind of alluded to the reason.
If he has a woman, do you have a boyfriend or do you have a woman?
That she was a Black queen to you was because she was
curled around your neck.
I think that's the same dude that you know, that comedian Akash Singh and his wife was out here thirsting over her husband, her best friend's husband. I think that's him. I'm not sure though, but as a matter of fact, fuck it, I'll figure it out. I think that's him, and if it is, that's nasty work. But I'm gonna figure out who it is real quick.
Yeah, figure out who this weird nigga is, man.
Gentle to you and was able to make you feel like, oh, I can open up and feel safe.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
No, I said what I was trying to say. She's held me accountable.
Held you accountable.
And forced me. Man,
you didn't. Not what you said.
Shut up and let him talk, nigga.
Wait, that made you able to do it.
He like a
I'm about to
girl.
get the fuck out of here. We right here with you. Okay? But I'm saying, in order.
See, you can't. See, Clifton trying to. That's the problem. They done forced a man like Clifton to try to fit. He can't. He don't fit in with this. This Pinky, nigga. This fucking Pinky, man. Pinky ain't that shit gonna come out. He like, listen, bro. Listen. You gotta let me talk, motherfucker. Like,
It's not him. I think it's not him.
It's not him. Okay. He know, like, bro, you some soft ass little Albie Show ass nigga. He's like, yo, let me fucking talk, bro. Like, eventually you can't fit into this box they trying to force real men into. That you ain't gonna never fit into that shit, Pinky. Shaking them niggas' hands and all that shit ain't gonna do nothing, brother. You ain't come to Philosophical Radio, man. Clifton Powell, this is where you need to be. Come over here, man. Get away from them weird niggas, man. Have a real conversation with some real ones, bro. Because them niggas is red. Them niggas ain't talking about a motherfucking thing. They ain't even let them talk.
For us.
He an elder. You should let him talk just on strength. He the oldest man at the table. So where's your respect? Talking about, see how deep the game get? They want to sit here and talk about women. They don't even know the hierarchy of respect within men. That's the oldest man at the table. Shut your ass up and let him fucking talk, nigga.
To trust, if this is about fucking trusting Black women, then you gotta be able to let your woman hold you accountable when you do patriarchal shit.
You agree, right?
And when you come from the streets, that's
all right. I'm tired of hearing this word. Willie, give us a definition of patriarchy. I need the official definition of patriarchy, bro. Let's get to it. Bruce, hit the link, man.
A society that's ran by males. That's ran by males, typically organized and facilitated by men.
Why does that have to be destroyed?
Because feminine niggas want to be destroyed because they're never going to be in power and they feel as weak as the women claim to be.
You need to take that up with God. I ain't major.
Bro just made up a good point. That is a trans dude on the panel too. So they snuck him in there.
So that's a girl.
Listen.
These are the conversations that the Black female thought leaders are trying to facilitate. This bullshit. These concocted conversations with this is a fucking girl, y'all.
No, not that one. I think the light-skinned Michael Beasley looking one is the girl.
Nah, hell no. That's a nigga. That's a girl right here. This might be a girl. I think that's a man. Them big ass shoulders.
I don't know, bro. I'm mad
Nah,
because
that's a man. That's a man. That's
hey,
a man.
because
I think this is a girl right here.
I need to
I can
figure
see
out
this being
what
a girl more than I can see that being a man. Them shoulders too big.
I need to figure out what she taking because her beard is tough, bro. I need to figure out how to get my shit to finish growing. Like I'm going through puberty, like.
Yeah, this might be a girl, but that other motherfucker, that nigga's a fucking. That's a strong safety, man.
Almost impossible. Because we grew up, like you said, fuck that bitch. It's just so complicated. And in order for you to grow, even at 50, and I agree with you, you have to take yourself.
We ain't grow up like that. We said that to a bitch that was a bitch, man. Like, let's stop acting like it ain't no fucking difference, man. Like, stop it. Jay-Z said it. He said, bitch, he said, sisters give up their ass. Bitches give up their ass. Sisters do it slow. Bitches do it fast. Like, we always knew the difference. Stop acting like that. Women call themselves bitch more than anybody. And when you're gay, they let you call them a bitch. But, you know,
accountable. But when y'all bring me in this motherfucker, I'm living this. The main theme is trusting black women, but how do we get ourselves as men fixed to be able to love them the way they need to be loved?
Well, that's the beauty of this conversation because we won't get to that. That's the beauty of this exercise that has been created here and that will continue on because it can't be figured out in this round table.
Nigga, Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it, nigga? They don't even love your ass back. Like, shut up, nigga.
But we are taking the steps.
I got you.
This is one, we are right now coming in right now, us.
Yeah.
That is a girl, Willie?
That's her. That's the girl.
That one with the little jacket, right?
Yeah.
I knew it, bro. I knew it. I knew that was a fucking girl. You ain't there.
Right now,
this is
everybody in this room harmoniously trying to lay this one brick to create more foundation that we can build on to be able to have a place of trust that black women feel like they can come into this space with us, that we will listen.
They in the space. What are they talking about? They here. They in these conversations oft a lot of times fucking them up. Sometimes they add to it, but they here, bruh. Niggas are just saying, yo, we're tired and we're going to do what's best for us because more than likely what we do what's best for us is going to be what's best for everybody else as well. What's best for black women is not what's best for black people. I think what's best for black men is what's good for black people. I think we're always doing things that are with them in mind, with the women in mind, with the kids in mind. I don't think they do be having us in mind. Now, maybe our immediate moms do, our immediate women in our lives, yeah. But at large, I don't see that. I don't see these movements being pushed by women that's beneficial to all of us. Now, shout out to, there are some women, it's a group, I think the EDX app, I think it's a program called EDX. I heard it was started by 4 black women. Shout out to those black women. I heard it was started by them and it allows everybody to get skills in IT and management, project management. So shout out to those black women who doing shit like that, but they're few and far in between. And they're definitely not the ones that these men are talking about. They want us to understand the Cardi B's of the world.
And we will sit here and be gentle with ourselves that we don't understand. That I don't understand what's being said. I think somebody's hearing me wong. Somebody's saying wrong. Somebody's talking over me. Something's happening to me. These are all things that don't allow women to come and open up to us because we are ready to play football every goddamn time.
Definitely.
Right now, we gotta. So that's why we gotta have our space to us. A man has to have his space to himself.
It's patriarchal.
Can I ask a question to you?
Right?
Yeah. People are living in broken marriage is not working in this culture. 3 out of 5 marriages end in divorce. So people are living in fear inside of their own home. Yes. So the question I'm asking is for guys who straight from the hood. Is it possible for those guys to sit in here with us and hear us?
Yes.
And
being from the streets, I spent 2 years of my life locked up fighting 2 life sentences. It took a woman, and going back to what you were saying as well about how we got as men got to stop relying on women. Women are natural nurturers and providers. It took a woman to show me love to say, this ain't how you do this. And my first mindset, being from the street, bitch, who are you talking to? That's what I was thinking. But I had to understand there's 2 parts to that. You either want to be a better person or you can accept what you think is right. And so once she educated me on certain things and said, no, baby, we don't do it like this. You need to go to therapy. You need to do it. It was a lot of things that I felt like I should have been combative about, but I wasn't because I know I talk to God and say, I need answers. My answers ain't always going to come through a man.
For sure.
I was taught to believe that it did because a man should raise a man, but a woman is nurturing and caring. And if she cares about herself, she cares about her counterpart. So it's up to us to listen, to accept. We don't have to agree. 90% of the time, I don't agree. The fact that you can say, I accept, I receive what you're saying, you don't interrupt, you don't defend yourself. These are all.
I got a question. Is that hard for you as a street guy?
It's hard right now.
I get you. I get it. But I'm just making sure everybody.
Why is it hard though, Willie? Why is it so hard for men to just? Why are they having such a hard time with that? Is it because it's not natural?
Because it's not natural for any to lead.
Shout out to August in the building. What up? Go ahead, Willie. You got it.
Yeah, it's not natural for a man to be led by a woman. That's one of the most unnatural things, I think, in nature. So,
yeah, and they fighting it. Go ahead, August. What you want to add to the conversation?
Oh no, I just was tapping in, man. I was, the way that our community is, it's a matriarchy right now, and a lot of us are talking through our feelings. We've been indoctrinated in just female logic on how we perceive the world, the men, and so a lot of us talk through our feelings. I see it. I know a lot of men don't even mean to do it, but they talk. They say I feel like this, I feel like that, and we do less thinking and more feels before reals, and that's like a spell on us in our head to make us perceive the world that way, and a lot of that comes from our mothers, and these, I love Black women. I love our women, they are women, but we have to take back control. There's no other way, or else we will fail. We will, we will see our demise just as a culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like these guys, what they talking about, it's from a place of brokenness. Yeah. It's like they already have the power. Like he started to show off talking about, we have to put them in a city of power. They're already there. So it seemed like you're just trying to suppress the rise of Black men getting into power. They keep talking about the patriarchy. It's like we're not under a Black male patriarchy. It's under a white male patriarchy. So what are you talking about? Like they trying to make us suffer for what we're not even doing. Even the whole feminist movement. Go ahead.
I got a question. Do you think that there's something wrong with a Black male patriarchy?
Absolutely not. I don't think there's nothing wrong with patriarchy, period. But the thing that they don't realize is we're seeing the nature of the man who's in that position. It's like saying a gun is bad. No, if you're going out shooting people for no reason,
you're bad.
You're horrible. If you're using a gun to protect the people, then it's just a weapon of protection.
It's a tool,
so we see a person in a position of power because these people are cowards. They don't want to call a spade a spade. We all see what's going on in the world. The Epstein files has the files of the powerful men that run this world. Unfortunately, at this particular epoch of time, most of them are white European males. It just is what it is. That's and the point I'm trying to make is the nature of this man is being displayed. So if you're under his patriarchy, there might be some isms and schisms if this is his nature. So when you talk about we're under a patriarchy, the key question I always ask people is whose? Because that's not ours. So if you're under his patriarchy, you're not even talking about patriarchy. You have a problem with the nature of that man and how his nature is affecting your nature. But they don't want to talk about that. It's not the position of patriarchy. It's the nature of the patriarch.
All this shit boils down to is women want the accountability of the child. They want the consideration of a VIP, and they want the authority of a man. And when they don't have it, they're oppressed. They're the victims. It's woe is me. There's nothing new.
I was only asking that question because I think that we give, and I'm not anti-women or nothing like that. You got to make these claims or whatever, but I think that we give up a lot of ground when we say that the patriarchy is a bad thing. If the man was in charge and the nuclear family was stable the way that it should be, you would see the Black community in prominence. But because you can look this. I know Willie you be on them facts, bro. Like I be learning stuff from you every time you open up your mouth and say something, bro. No, you know what I mean? Pause like a motherfucker, but you be, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, champ.
Facts. But when with the government, this is what bewildered them is that when Black male employment started to go up, so did the need for welfare and different things like that in the black community, and the government was puzzled because it was like you see black men doing better economically, but for some reason there's more welfare, more Section 8, more of that, because there was a split with us, and this was a choice from black women, and we're living in the results of that right now. You know what I mean? So it's just,
that's
I
why they
think the patriarchy is good.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, it's not the patriarchy, it's the nature of the person in the seat of power. Your nature is going to bleed into your politics. It's going to bleed into your academics. Like we look at the ancient Moors and the ancient people of our culture, the ancient cultures that we had.
They taught math, reading, all that stuff.
Their nature bled into their society and its politics. And that's why it was such a thriving time in the world. People don't know that glorious when we was running Spain, that was like the cultural capital of the world at that time. We're talking about an 800-year time frame. That's a long time.
Science,
so it's
science,
like our
math,
nature bled into our society. You see what the society we got in, because the nature of those at the top is bleeding into it. These motherfuckers are into fucking with kids, cannibalism. Like people thought I knew this shit since I was 19, but motherfuckers thought I was just crazy. But we can't deny it no more. So that, guess what? It kills the black fatigue conversation. It even kills the black woman conversation, because we have something that's overriding, that's strictly demonic and evil, pulling all the strings. But to hear these men it's like at this point in the game, we either got to talk about the real, or just shut the fuck up. All this, the men it ain't about the women and the men. Like, bruh, we dealing with principalities and powers and rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness, and high places. These motherfuckers are the ones who's writing the laws. And if they not making the album, they're funding the album. If they're not writing the law, they're funding the law to be made. If they're not funding the law to be made, they're influencing the funder of the law that's going to be made. No matter what door you go down, you're going to find these evil motherfuckers that's in the halls of influence of all things all over the world, point blank, fucking period. And if they're doing this, I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking black fatigue by nobody ever again. Like, that shit don't even matter, because this shit is crazy. Them Epstein files is nasty.
You
And
see what's happening in Iran right now, how you see what we're doing in Iran right now, right? And you know why we're doing it. I ain't gonna say too much.
On my 2026 bingo card, I would have never thought that Ellen DeGeneres would be proclaimed as the #1 eater of anything other than vagina. However, apparently she has a taste for kids and cannibalism.
Wow.
That shit was not on my 2026 bingo card at the fuck all.
But like I be telling y'all, I'm not surprised, because when you study history, they've always done this shit. They like this cannibalism, they called it corpse medicine. That was a part of English culture back in the. Why you think they don't talk about the Dark Ages like that? Because them motherfuckers was wild as hell. Like they would listen. I got a book written by his name is Keenan Booker. He's an author. Look him up, named God 720. He wrote these books. He wrote a lot of books. But his claim to fame is he wrote these books called Kicked Out of Heaven: The History of the Dark Ages. It's 3 volumes. These books show the most grotesque shit that you could think of, because they don't talk about how they live that much. When you understand how they live, but we talking about places where dead bodies and feces were just laying around the ground all the fucking time. These black plagues come from the fact that they were shit and piss so much throughout the city. Why do you think they used to wear high heels and big dresses? Because they used to step over shit all the time, and they would wear them big dresses so they could just shit and just chill like it's nothing. See, a lot of that stuff you thought was pomp and fashionable. No, it was hiding their shit. Literally. So they would just shit up under them big ass dresses, and you wouldn't be able to see it, and be funky and stinking and all that shit. So they said they would shit and piss to the point where the shit and urine got into the water wells, and it gave them dysentery. So they couldn't drink water for years. It's like imagine the Flint situation, but it's worse. So instead of drinking water, guess what they would drink from the time they children to the time they die? Alcohol. So now you got this filthy ass place. They are illiterate and drunk. Could you imagine what that shit looked and felt and smelled like, bro? This is how they used to live. So cannibalism is not nothing new, bro. Like, that's why I always advocate people to study history, because none of this shit will surprise you. It's not nothing fucking. Why you think they like to eat? Not all of them, but they eat some shit very rare and like they just
different. Raw meat. Yeah, put it right on my plate. Yeah.
They just a
it's
little
weird.
different.
Yeah,
and
hold
it's
on.
like, go ahead.
Yeah.
My bad. No, I'm sorry. My baby girl was talking to me. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but it's like, it's like we don't have to be surprised if we get studious. And that's why I was upset with what this man even said on the show, talking about it ain't about reading. Like, no, it is. Yes, it is. Even the first trans surgery was done by, I believe, the small hat people. So that happened in the early 1900s, and he was doing that during the reign of Hitler. That's one, not to defend Hitler, but that's one of the reasons why he wanted them.
My mind was going there.
They was doing those surgeries back then.
My mind was going there, bro, but I don't want to, I have thoughts, but I don't want to bring no, because I don't know what's going on. I have ideas and thoughts, but I don't want to bring no rain of fire. I read, but I got to read more. There's a book you had, I still have the screenshot, man. You had told us to check it out. And I'm gonna check it out. I'm in the middle of reading another book right now. But it was let me see what it's called, because I still got the screenshot right here. The Destruction of Black Civilization. I screenshotted that when on your last live. So I'm gonna check that out and read that.
Yeah, are you talking about this book?
No, let me I wish I could put it in. I have a screenshot right here.
They talk about the cannibalistic history.
It's the Destruction of Black Civilization
by Chancellor Williams. Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and they tell you even in the other one, the Iceman Inheritance, like according to that book, just based on the title alone, like the time, and I don't know if you seen that. It was me on the panel, it was Thomas Sotomayor, and it was Micah, and it was Jay Bias, goofy ass. And they was talking about they was accusing me and Monster of being victims, of speaking from a place of victimhood, because we was understanding like the chronological order of what's going on. Like, look at what we're finding out. It's no way whatever that we're dealing with could ever be considered victimhood if this is what they doing, and they are. I don't want to hear shit from nobody, nigga. I don't want to hear, because shit we doing it to each other. Like I said, the story of Kendrick Johnson from Atlanta. His parents found his body wrapped up in a fucking gym mat with all his organs missing and was never told nothing to this day. I don't want to hear shit about no fucking black fatigue by no black people. So when we was on that panel with Micah, she brought up, because I'm like, y'all, I don't read. Y'all know I say that. And she proved that the fact that she trying to prove that, I do know something by bringing up that book. But that book would counter her argument, because according to that book, the destruction of our civilization stopped at the year 2000 and it started in the year 400 BC. If you do the math on that through ChatGPT, that's 6,000 years. So you mean to tell me in 26 years, your good credit is supposed to overcome all of that? Right. From a large scale, not individually.
Yeah.
Because individually, you can do a lot. I'm talking about as a collective. You think you're going to beat that in 26 years? That doesn't. That's so. It's like
it don't even make sense.
It don't. So did you even read the book? Did you read the title? Because that book contradicts.
I think what gets lost is they don't understand how a lot of just the traumas of the past has institutionalized you in your perception of reality. And so there's a lot that we have to unlearn. There's a lot of just on how a lot of black men, we're not very competitive. You know what I'm saying? And we lose that, we lose that ability to compete because the father was removed. So your father gonna teach you the value of competition and the value of structure and the value of, being able to survive in the world. So if you go into the world not competitive, that's something that has to be unlearned. And that's just an example of what I'm saying, because we have so many traumas in our mind of our perception of the world that we don't even know we got. We just walking with them and thinking that way. And it's like, yeah, you're thinking wrong. You don't see nothing wrong with the fact that you should be able to live amongst yourselves and survive and thrive, but we got to leave the hood. You know what I'm saying? We got to run away from the hood. There's something that's a trauma there, and the past speaks to that. So I get what you're saying.
Speaks to that. Because it's like every era from the 1900s, every era up into the 80s, a different spiritual program was injected into you. Every era they had something. They killed the leaders. That's another injection. They gave you drugs. Another. Redlining, another. Racism, another. Unfair banking practices, another. Taking of land. All of these things are injected in you to change you ultimately. And when the change takes place, you want to say, well, I don't understand what's wrong with them. I had nothing to do with that. No, I did it. No, motherfucker. The product of what you did has manifested itself. What else?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of like I said, individually, we killing it.
Yeah.
We don't have a thriving economic collective.
Which
they always attacked. They have no problem with you getting money. They have a problem with y'all getting money.
Yeah.
That's why I hate these men and women talking about, oh, the black men didn't do nothing. Bro, when you look at, like I told Willie earlier, you have to stop looking through the lens of these people. When they say look at black men, don't look at the Illas and the Willies and the Augusts. Step back and look at the whole black gender of men as one person. When you look at that person, he did everything.
The black body,
He did everything.
The consciousness of us,
He did everything. If you look at the group of all black men since they've been in this country as one person, he's did everything. Now he's tired, and now motherfuckers is going crazy. What else you want? All the movements started by black men.
Yeah.
All the prominent ones were started by black men.
Yeah.
They've carried the entertainment industry. They've carried the athletics. They even taught people back in antiquity. And to be honest, black people as a whole are tired. But the fact is, we've always felt empathy for the fatigue of our women, but we don't really get it back. And now you got these men up here defending, oh, y'all still don't get it. No, we get it, bro. Men is just tired, bro. Black men is tired. They mentally and spiritually tired, and they done talking about it and sitting here trying to beat niggas over the head with reproductive rights and all that shit, man.
We done with that shit. Yeah,
we done with that shit, bro. That wasn't even our shit. And I play this clip a lot because it epitomizes the era of the woman of this era, and that's this.
The reason why affirmations for Black men has transformed and changed my life particularly is because the more that I affirmed Black men every day for 2 years, the more that I realized I didn't love them as much as I thought I did.
Speak more to that.
It was the act of finding something different, of studying, of trying and looking to understand. It made me realize that I had never done that before. Until it became something that I was doing because I saw that people needed. And then I started to do it. And I was like, you're telling me I've lived 27 years of my life and I haven't cared to try to understand Black men. I haven't even cared to try. And I would consider myself a really loving person. But for a while, I have been encouraged to invest in only self or understand only self or try to get only for self. And I think that there was this also idea that I already knew him. I already knew everything I needed to know about him. I would study him for what? Get to know him. What is the reason? He's always there.
So while these weird ass niggas trying to tell you that you need to understand her, she's telling you that she forgot you was even existing.
Yes, that's true.
She didn't get it to year 27.
I was having a conversation with my mom. Me and my mom, we had to reorganize our relationship just to kind of understand the functionalities of things. And I was able to show her so much just throughout my life. And I got a nuclear family. I got a wife and kids. We're doing phenomenal. And it's a great, representation of, the Black community and Black success. And a lot of what me and my mom was talking about, because the way she raised me, she thought that she loved me, you know what I'm saying? And she may have felt love, you know what I mean? But the way that she was demonstrating it, it wasn't love, because just like the girl was saying in that last video, which I think that was powerful, man. She didn't even know that she needed to actually pay attention. She didn't even understand. Yeah, in her mind, she thought that what she was feeling and the things that she was doing was love. And my mom had to reevaluate that within herself, and then start to, make the correction. So our relationship is great now, but before it wasn't. You know what I mean? So you get that a lot, where a lot of times it's just how they feel. They feel like they love you in their mind, just because the perspective that they share. They really don't really see you, like you just said.
And it's the thing. She said, I thought I was a loving person. So they can go to sleep at night feeling like they're loving person without loving you. Like loving you wasn't even incorporated and how they define being. Because to me, if I don't love everybody, I'm not a loving person. If I don't love black men, black women, black boys, black girls, they all have to be all encompassed in my concept of love. I can't alienate them. So the fact that she was able to compartmentalize black men and still felt like she's a loving person is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Shout out to my brother Jamal Swiggett. I appreciate you, bro. This is my bro in real life, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Said peace to the guys, man. You already know, brother. Yeah, man. But like I said, man, I knew that last week when I tapped on this conversation that it would take a little more than just it deserved a whole show. I appreciate y'all for contributing. Yeah. Tap in on tomorrow. We're gonna do a little sports show, and definitely pull up Tuesday, Turntable Tuesdays. I got another cool interview coming up next week. I got another collab. The following week, another interview, and yeah, like I said, y'all, sorry to everybody that pulled up to the Walshy Fire interview. Bro, we're gonna have to do it again. The footage got deleted, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for this one right here. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. But yeah, man, if you was there to catch it, it was a great interview. Homie is a huge artist. He went straight from the Winter Olympics and came to chop it up with us. It was such a blessing, but I tried to edit out a clip, and I never edited on YouTube before. And I thought I was editing that part out. It deleted the entire interview, and it left the actual part I was trying to delete. So I'm pissed. I'm heated. That was a great moment for me, but luckily we've been cool years before we even did the interview, but homie's big. If you don't know, look up the song Lean On by Major Lazer. You heard that song a million times. You heard it on 2K. You probably didn't even think about it. That song went diamond. These guys work with Beyonce, Travis Scott, Neptunes, and he came to just kick it with me and a handful of people. So you never know going to be on my channel, man. You just never know. I told you, the network is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But my media network is dope too. Willie Beeman is a dope person to have in my network. I'm blessed to have him in my network now. Brother's really been giving me a lot of jewels behind the scenes. So the network is not just about celebrity. It's about quality people. You know what I mean? That guy's not quality because he got Grammys and he works with these big artists. He's a quality person because he's a quality person who just happens to have talent, who just happen to be a Grammy-winning artist, who just happen to be those other things. But don't think that that's what defines you. If I have somebody in my panel, it's because I think they're a quality person inside and out, and it has nothing to do with any accomplishments. But a lot of them are accomplished as well. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to my boy Willie Beeman. My boy August Moore. August, pull up some more, man. I ain't see you in a while, man. I ain't see you since
I had to pull up this time. You know, I be trying to do my tour days, man.
No, I know you be going, you do your own thing too.
Man. But I wanted to make sure I showed up for this one. I wanted to show some love, man. Pull up on you, man. I told you I would. I'm gonna pull up some more, a lot, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Especially when we had these hip hop conversations on Tuesday. I want to get I want to get these regional perspectives because I'm really passionate about that mic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know I'm from the dirty South, so you know I'm gonna represent for the South. You hear me? New Orleans all day.
Yeah, we had a controversial take on the last show, so I'm gonna ask you, being somebody from New Orleans.
Was it the Wheezy talk with your boy? What's your boy
Creative?
name? No, but
the Webby talk. He said he said the only difference between the success of Wu-Tang Clan and Webby was business and investment. I said, listen. Webby and Wu-Tang is worlds apart.
Yeah, you should probably never talk to that nigga about anything ever.
Webby. I mean, Wayne is from New Orleans. He sold millions.
Webby not from New Orleans. Webby from Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
I mean, he's from Louisiana. Louisiana.
He's from Louisiana, but it's like two different worlds.
I'm saying, but they're still
niggas from New Orleans don't even claim Louisiana. Them niggas just claim New Orleans. They're like, bitch, I'm not from Louisiana. Bitch, I'm from New Orleans.
To say that Webby, Mr. I got 612s, like I'll fuck with the music, but to say that the difference between Webby and Wu-Tang is business. Yeah, that nigga smoking dope and dog food.
And that's why I'm having these conversations Tuesday. because I love the South. I'm a big UGK fan. I fuck with Slim Thug. I fuck with Big Crit. I fuck with Currency. I fuck with Key Glock. I fuck with Jeezy Heavy. I fuck with T.I. I fuck with Outkast. I fuck with Killer Calleon. I fuck with Wheezy.
That was a curveball. I guarantee you nobody expected to hear Killer name.
Yeah, I'm really a hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? But
run it.
A lot of these, bruh, that fucking freestyle to the Big Crit Time Machine beat, that flow was retarded. I'm really into this music shit. But to my southern brethren, a lot of cats from y'all areas, more so Georgia, is coming up with the craziest takes I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's blasphemous. It has to be addressed. Lil Yachty just said some shit the other day. This shit got to stop. This motherfucker said that shit in the 90s was trash. Like the hip hop, the hippie. First of all, nigga, that was 1979. And that was what opened the door for rap, period. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
They don't respect the genre of hip hop, and they need to stop talking about this shit, because this shit ain't no game. And this, you need to know about, like, when I was 19 and 20, I didn't just listen to what was out. What was out was what Jay-Z, Dipset, and all that. I went back and bought Slick Rick. I went back and bought Scarface shit. I went back and listened to fucking Riding Dirty. I listened to all of that old shit so I can understand what this genre is. These motherfuckers don't understand that shit, and they don't have no respect for the genre. And that's why Wu-Tang can still go on tour in their 50s all over the fucking world. We're going to see what Lil Yachty could do when he turned 48 and 50.
That's the
one Lil Yachty song.
You don't know, by the time
talk about Rap is the Light.
By the time the Little Yachty turned 48, his entire fan base is either going to be overdosed from drugs or in some type of mental institution.
This nigga had nails painted, bro.
Well, hey, it's a lot of weird niggas, but this is the thing, right? Little Yachty shouldn't be talking about anybody being trash when he's been on the worst rapper list for the past 7 years of his life.
Whole career.
Like, so I mean, you can.
He said a lot of dumb shit talking about Atlanta got all the styles come from Atlanta. Like, nigga, no, it don't.
Hey, Willie, where you from?
I'm from Dallas.
Oh, you from Dallas? Okay.
Yep.
I fuck with Texas music. I fuck with Texas, period. I want to live in Texas.
That's why I know you got good taste, bro.
I fuck with Texas heavy, bro. That's like outside of my favorite Southern. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I fuck with Georgia too, because T.I. is like my nigga. Jeezy is my nigga. But I really like Texas a lot too. Like I really love Pimp C. Like
y'all fuck with the Scooter and Chop in Dallas? Or y'all, that's just a Houston thing?
We did when it was a thing. We don't really, nobody really fucking with that at all now.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
but back then, but at the same time, back then, Texas and Houston and Dallas was a lot more alike back then. Okay. Now Dallas is kind of its own thing, and Houston is more like Atlanta minus all the gay shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Another dude from Georgia said, "Oh, New York brought that shit to Atlanta." It's like, bro, how could they convince you? Talking about they made us like that. They like, how can somebody make you like that behind the scenes? And now, like, it's just a lot of stuff they be saying down there that just be like, yo. We gotta talk about this hip hop shit.
What time you doing it, bro? Tuesday? What time? I'm
did Tuesday at 8:30. 8:30. Me and my blood brother, Father Moo. But yeah, man, like niggas don't know nothing about 25 lighters, bro. I wake up early getting like yours to stretch another day, get another
niggas in Texas knew that.
About that shit.
It's kids in Texas who know Mo City the Don freestyle before they know the Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, you talking about the actual Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
I thought that was a song. I'm like, I ain't hear that.
Oh no, it's like the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Flag of the United States of America to the Republic.
They know Zero's longest song, word for word, but don't know the Pledge of Allegiance. Like some of them
Zero
songs,
hard too.
Like Buddy just said, DSR, like Southside the realest. That's a staple for Dallas. Oak Cliff, that's my hood. Another Sam Bank. Then it's a lot of music that came out of Texas.
I'm a student, man. I
love Texas.
That's why I hate being in DC, because these niggas up here act like the only music that exists is like go-go shit and Shy Glizzy. Like that's all the fuck they listen to is that type of shit. And
he's still going. Shy Glizzy still going hard in DC right now.
He from.
I know he's from there, but
that's why one of the things DC do is they take care of their artists except for Wale.
They don't focus because he's from Maryland. He's not really from DC.
Yeah.
So they call Maryland niggas Bammers.
Well, yeah, I'm in Maryland now.
That shit right there, like PG
County.
Right
there, you go right through. Yeah,
I'm in PG.
I'm in PG, not everywhere.
So yeah, I'm in
Yeah, I know what
PG
you
County,
mean.
so it's tough.
I got all my partners from PG, man.
Being from Texas and living here is so weird to me. That's why I'm ready to move because this shit is dumb.
How long you been out there, bro?
Too fucking long since 21.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm on the way back, but I can't. I'm so ready to get back home where shit normal. I ain't got to hear about no fucking mambo sauce. I ain't got to hear nobody calling me slim when I'm 6 foot 250.
They
Like,
definitely be calling you Slim
Yeah.
heavy. Come on, Slim. Yeah, I'm just like about to blow this joint.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
live out there for about 8 years, so I'm all
Yeah.
familiar with
Bro,
fucking A Street, Adams Morgan, Florida Ave, bruh, Northeast, South, bruh. I've been all
bro,
over
a
there.
nigga stopped me. I was going to an event. He was like, "Bro, you got that dog on you." Me thinking, I'm like, I look like I got
that's
some dog.
that- yeah,
in it.
that's how they
so I'm
talk.
like, well, thank you, bro. He was like, no, they got security. They got metal detectors in there. And I was like, what? He was like, I was like, oh, well, I do, but I didn't know y'all called that a dog. My bad. And I had to like go back to the car and put my pistol up because they really did have security in there. I was like, oh, appreciate it. He was like, yeah, man, I was looking out. I was like, all right. He said, thanks. And he said, all right, you good, Slim? I was like, so here we go.
Yeah, that's just how they talk, bro. Hey, Slim, man, I'm just like about to be out of here, man. They say Thursday, Saturday. Like, yeah, I know them real well, bro.
Yeah.
They don't never say my name, Eric. They be like, Eric. Yo,
Nigga, go to
Eric.
Baltimore
Like,
and get them to say your name. Like Baltimore has the second most annoying accent in America outside of
No,
Boston.
I hate Baltimore. And shout out to my bro. I got a good friend from Baltimore. My nigga George Gambino, he a rapper. But them accents be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I like New Orleans accents. I like New Orleans girls.
Everybody like New Orleans accents. New
Everybody
Orleans
like
accents
New
is
Orleans
like
shit.
British accents. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas love them.
baby? Hey, baby. Oh,
Yeah, they say British.
No, you let a woman talk you the way you talk to a woman from New Orleans, you're gonna feel loved and she can hate you, but you're gonna feel love.
Yeah.
My ex-wife
I didn't get the good food though, because I heard they got the food, but I went to a spot called the Coffee Pot. And they had they had something called Lost Bread. I guess it's a play on like Vignette. Yeah, bro. They had a place called Lost. They had this little treat called Lost Bread. It's like a vignette. It's like a French toast, bro. That shit fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't go to Cafe Du Monde like everybody else?
Food. Huh?
You ain't go to Cafe Du Monde?
We was there for like 3 days, so I know I missed out on because the spot I went to was like I'm like I know I could have. I know we don't know what we doing because I know this ain't it because I know New Orleans got the food. I know y'all.
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah.
Soul food be smacking too.
Man, hell yeah, bro. I eat at home though. You know, my mom, everybody in my family know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? We'll go places every once in a while, but we everybody could cook. I could cook. You come to my house and you gonna
no, I
good.
get busy too. I go crazy.
But you know, it's a culture thing with us. You know what I'm saying? Like we just like everybody know how to cook in New Orleans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in the North, like cooking, the food is all right in the North, but in New Orleans is like it's a staple. Like you'll get your ass whooped if you fuck some food up.
Yeah. I've seen my first wife, she's from
out here is all right. Charlotte, North Carolina is like
it's all right, but New Orleans is,
and she fucked up some etouffee or something, and her sister got into a fist fight.
They got to fight, yeah. They don't play about that shit.
Like, and neither one of them is fat. Like, just don't think it's because it's on some big back shit. Like, that she was just mad, and they kept talking shit. And next thing you know, they in the kitchen swinging. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And her daddy was like, just let them handle that. I was like, okay,
yeah. You get your ass with fucking some food up for real. They don't play about that shit.
Oh, then I need to go there because that mean that shit gonna be smacking. Because
everywhere smacking, bro. You can go to a gas station, bro, and get some fire ass chicken, dog.
I ain't never had no bad food. I've never had bad food. I used to go station in Pensacola, so I'm going to New Orleans. It's like 4 hours away every chance I get. I've never had bad food in New Orleans, ever.
It don't exist.
Ever. I've had bad food in Atlanta. Had
That's
bad
why
food in Miami.
We all fat. Everybody fat.
Yeah.
Everybody fat. Like all the people my age, they fat.
I was disappointed by the Carolinas on the food tip. I'm sorry.
Carolina's ass for food. I ain't gonna. You can't hold you. The only place worse for food than Carolina is Virginia.
The seafood be all right. You fuck with Carolina Kitchen?
On DoorDash, once or twice a month.
Carolina Kitchen be hitting. Yo, go to a spot called
Peaches. Got a chicken spot too that was good out there. I had when I was out there. Yeah, Harold's, man.
That's the real Harold's. Though. You gotta go to Chicago.
No, but the Harold's here is different and it's tough. I've been to the one in Chicago. That's hard too. But the Harold's out here is one that listen.
That shit was fucking fire, nigga.
No love.
I didn't know they had a Harold's out there.
Nigga, and I would critique. That shit was good, dog. I was like,
they got a house out here in Charlotte, but I don't.
No, the one so Charlotte just a name of Harold. It ain't the recipe. They got different. One in Chicago good. The one up here fire too. I don't give the DMV no love. It's unnecessary, like unwarranted. So if you ever hear me speak highly or positively about being up here, no, I mean that shit from the bottom of my heart.
You got to go to Moe's in Baltimore.
Moe's what?
Seafood.
Yeah, who ain't been to fucking Moe's in Baltimore?
A lot of people don't know about
okay. I ain't know about it. I live right here.
Well, I mean, I live here right now, so of course I've been. But if you had, that's somewhere I would take somebody. Like if my people fly in and they want to do some shit, like I would take them up there. That's the only time that I'm gonna make sure I'm in the Escalade.
That's some seafood. That's some crab cakes for your ass.
With some bullet resistance to it, because Baltimore is rough. And to get the Moe's, you got to drive. So
that shit worth the drive though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep a vest on, and you know what I'm saying.
You fuck with Moe's, Willie?
Yes, nigga. Yes. Like I fuck with the food if I'm willing to risk my life to go get it.
Because I used to drive from DC to go to Moe's and take that shit back, and just
ain't no eating in there. Yeah, you phone ahead and go in there and get that shit. Don't.
I ate in there before too, though.
Oh,
it's
no,
the one.
I don't eat nowhere in
Baltimore. It's the one that's close to downtown.
Yeah,
it's different.
Close to the wharf. I don't sit down and eat nowhere up here in general, bro. I don't go to barbershop. Like my barber comes to my house. I don't go nowhere except for the casino. If I gotta sit down and stay there because I know what type of time niggas here on.
Yeah, you fuck with Mid-Atlantic?
Sometimes, if I have to.
I just go there for the teriyaki salmon, but go to Peaches in Northwest. It's a Caribbean spot. They stuff salmon with crab.
It's on DoorDash, though, bro. It's on DoorDash. We got another spot up here called Sugar and Spice that's tough. Like they got these Southwestern peach egg rolls, nigga.
I like DC food. To me is better than down here. Like I don't. North Carolina food is
nigga,
like
prison food is better than food where you at. You in North Carolina.
Now we got certain spots like Mertz got good beef ribs, but Mr. Charles is pretty decent. Like, Mr. Charles probably the best soul food spot in Charlotte. Probably Mr. Charles. They pretty. I give them like a 7.5, 7.5, 8.
I finally found a barbecue spot up here that's nasty. Like man, I mean not good and a good like nasty work. And it's
Really,
Texas
when I
barbecue.
come to Texas, I need some fall off the bone beef ribs, bro.
Where are you going? Like what part of Texas?
I don't know. I'm not asking you.
Oh,
Wherever
go to
they at
Dallas.
is where I'm going.
Go to Dallas. Go to Cadillac Barbecue. I got a YouTube video from. I did an interview in there from a long time ago, and they just interviewed me because the lady was like, "He's in here all the time. Talk to him." So I did the little 15-minute spiel, sat down, walked through them, said what they get to eat. Cadillac Barbecue is the best. Is the best part of fucking.
It's just funny.
Like the best part, I think it's better than Terry Black's, which is like the #1 rated award-winning one. I think Cadillac Barbecue is way better than them. I think they're better than 5150. I think they're better than Pecan Lodge. Like, yeah, it's
because I don't need the
Texas you can't
sauce.
fuck with.
I just want the ribs because the sauce I like is Sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy.
Yeah, everybody got that in their house. Every nigga got a Sweet Baby Ray in their house.
I got
The
a bottle
sweet
in
and
the fridge.
spicy the sweet and spicy one though. That's the only one I need. That's it. That shit is fire.
Every Saturday, I go to the grocery store with my kids and we get stuff and we cook together. So that's what we're getting ready to do right now. And I'm finna be hungry to motherfucker cooking because I think I want to scrap this Saturday and get some barbecue real quick.
Yeah, I'm hungry than the motherfucker myself. I just ordered me some motherfucking brown stewed chicken and I'm about to eat that. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Every Saturday, 11:30, unpacking the cap. You know what I'm saying? If it's some cap to unpack, I'm gonna find it. You know, it gotta be organic though. I ain't gonna just reach. But I had to address this shit. So hopefully they give me something to unpack next week. We'll see. But in the meantime, peace and bless y'all. Enjoy your weekend. And pull up Tuesday, because Tuesday is also me and my blood brother's birthday. We got the same birthday, born 14 years apart. That's crazy. So yeah, March 3rd, man, come celebrate with me and come enjoy the show on Turntable Tuesdays. Shout out to Willie. Shout out to August Moore.
Pull
Shout
your
out to
drawers
all
out
the
of your
super chats.
ass. What are you doing?
Oh. And with that being said, y'all, peace and love. We are out.
I'm 10 toes. Hey, yo, the game got me mortified. So I focus on being fortified. Twisted shit encrypted and codified. Products of a simulation. First generation sufferers of overstimulation. My stipulation got me looking for some ventilation. I changed the station, ignoring Satan's invitation. No visitation for my brothers off solicitations. Incarcerations, it's called the Matrix. If life's a bitch, then she's a dominatrix. So death got to be your masculine presence. Opening his arms while you bask in his essence. Sometimes when I talk to God, I call my passive aggressive. lessons, blessings. You know the game been told. If I was you, then my soul would have been sold. Watch what you do, cause it's coming back tenfold. Either way it goes, man, I'm 10 toes, 10 toes, 10.